All right. Hello. Welcome everyone back to where it's all systems go for a PulseChain May net launch. This is your happy hour show. We got a packed panel on tonight. This is going to be outstanding. We got a lot of stuff to get through, obviously. I'm going to introduce everybody real quick. Chat, go nuts. I'm going to call you out here in a second. And we got a familiar guest or two recently because they've had a lot going on. We got Buck Fiat, CFA, and Hexy Standy Dylan. How you guys doing?
Doing well. Thanks for having us, sir.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Senior Buck. And we got Mr. It's been a minute, Hexy Bastard down there. How you doing?
What's up? Hey, man. Thanks for having me back on. Appreciate it. Good to see everyone.
And speaking of people I haven't seen in a while, I've seen him on stream recently, but Mr. David Fider, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Heck yeah, man. So, I mean, you guys have been, working on things of all types. I mean, PulseChain touches all of it in a sense, except I guess in a sense for ePhiat, which we can start with. Wanted to say hello to everybody in the chat. Matty Allen is here. Who is this guy? This guy, Matty Allen. What's going on? Lazy Hexagon, Eagle AI. What's up, Kinetics? I see you in there. Kaiser, what's up? Vets and Crypto, what's up? Lost Child. He's got Hexastan. He's got a huge fan in Lost Child.
There you
go. 2 more weeks. Kinetics, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's sooner now. I think the meme might be less than 2 weeks at least, but
2 more days.
Get David Fider's professional opinion on that.
2 more days, bro. 48-hour launch. Here we go.
2 more days. That's the new meme. But what's up, everybody? Chrissy, what's up? Red Squirrel, what's up? P Burn, what's up? Ben, what's up? Shout out to everybody. My dog. Pulse Doge in the chat. All right. So I guess where to begin? We teased it on last Thursday's happy hour show that if all things went well, that we would have an ePhiat launch by early week, likely Tuesday. Sure enough, this wonderful team delivered, or community, or whatever you want to call yourselves, and product is up, operational. Haven't seen anything wrong with it, working as designed. And it's also good because I guess people are not satisfied with their paltry gains and selling down the price of ePhiat, which is good because if you want to build your bags, here's your chance. But what's going on, gents? Tell us, I guess, how you think the launch went, and then we can, I guess, get into some details.
Sure. I think the launch went great. The price of the ticker ePhiat turned out really well for the early fiat guys. They didn't expect ePhiat when they participated in the sacrifice last year in late April, early May, and here we are now, and they get a free token, right? And they're 5x on their SAC, and it's not even the original thing that they planned on getting, right?
Immediately. It was crazy.
Yep. So I think those guys are extremely happy for what's going on with fiat and everything like that. So and then we just launched the protocol itself. Maybe 2 days ago, 3 days ago, if I'm not mistaken.
You were
25th.
3 days ago.
Yep. On Anzac Day. Maybe
Yep.
Buck can give a little history lesson for the housing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we launched it on Anzac Day, which it commemorates the Battle of Gallipoli, which was when Australia basically and New Zealand suffered a massive defeat on the battlefield there. In Australia, it's the equivalent of Memorial Day, and it's a great day. It's my favorite holiday because you wake up and very early, and you go to a ceremony where you pay respect to the soldiers, and then after you do that, you basically go to the bar and you drink all day, and you gamble. in a game called 2-Up, where you have a paddle with 2 coins on it. So we made a little 2-Up meme with the fiat thing. But yeah, basically, we're pretty happy with how things are going. We've launched the protocol under very tight restrictions at the moment to make sure that everything's working properly. So far, everything's working properly. We've had people be liquidated, so that's all really good news. And yeah, people are now leveraging and shorting Hex and Hedron on mainnet Ethereum. So that's a great thing for the community. And we'll be kind of reducing these restrictions, starting next week at some point, and just sort of building up a bit. So that's sort of where we're at.
I guess, can you tell the viewing public why these restrictions are in place? Is just, kind of get to make sure every kink or there's no complications, stuff like that works out before like much bigger bags start to pile in?
Yeah, that's exactly right. If there is any issue, we'd rather discover it now. We'd also like to see how it performs under stress scenarios, particularly because we know that there will be one very stressful scenario coming up. If David's right, in 2 days with PulseChain mainnet. I think you're likely to see massive volatility in both directions at some point in the near future because of that. And for a protocol like ours, that's probably the biggest stress test you could ever imagine to have happen. Because you might see the price of Hex start to double, if people start to think the snapshot's coming, and then you could see it probably drop in half as well, just as fast. That's the kind of thing that breaks protocols like ours. We're just being mindful of that as well, because that's the most prudent thing to do.
Yep. Just wanted to bring up the historic tweet that was tweeted out by Efiat.io. This address just became the first person to be liquidated on Fiat.io. A good sport. They shorted Hex and got wrecked. A fine proof of concept.
Indeed. That's fucking
That's
beautiful,
cool.
man. That's beautiful.
That's cool. Very
nice. Congrats, guys, because that's fucking awesome. That's so awesome. He was the guy that was on this show who was like, I wish I could short Hex. Where can I short Hex? That
was my buddy Cody, man.
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's a few of them. There's Peter McCormick,
guy.
I guess, but I don't trust Peter to actually have enough money to make a meaningful short after his issues.
I don't even think Peter knows how to use Ethereum, bro.
I was gonna say, yeah, he doesn't know what a smart contract is. If he did, he'd probably move on from Bitcoin.
But maybe Erica Wall. I'm not really sure.
Man, he's LARPing. He's a Hex bull. He's LARPing 100%.
PulseChain bull, yeah. So
definitely PulseChain bull.
Couldn't make him one by default, but yeah. Anyway, Dylan, did you want to show us some stuff here with the?
I got it ready for you already. Here you go.
So we are on the Fiat.io app. And
right.
What are we looking at here?
So this is the main page. This is where you come when you first get here on app.fiat.io, right? It's important to know why this exists in the first place, right? Having DeFi solutions to CeFi issues or products is really important, right? Being a DeFi application where you have things like shadow banks that exist in every bull market that always collapse, like Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns, Celsius, BlockFi, Voyager, right? What's beautiful about DeFi stuff, Aave, went through that entire market, the bear market, right? The worst part of it, and always was paid back, right? And if you didn't pay your loan back on Aave, your ass got liquidated, right? Because the code doesn't lie. We saw people like Three Arrows struggling to pay back their loan to push down their liquidation price when they had a couple $100 million of ETH, right? They were selling a couple of NFTs for like 50 grand and then paying off, $130 million loan to not get liquidated, right? It was pretty fascinating to see, right? So having these solutions for things like Hex and Hedron, or even Shiba, right, is they're an underserved market. Aave is probably never going to support Hex, naturally because of the OA risk, right? Or likewise, they're not going to support Hedron either, just because it's literally tied to the hip with Hex, right? And nor have they showed support for smaller coins that have large communities, right? Like Shiba. You would argue that if you were to ask anybody outside of crypto what coin they know of, or if they had any chance bought in any crypto in the last 3 years, I guarantee you 50% of the time they'll say they bought Shiba Inu or Dogecoin. Literally, it's no matter who you ask, you go up to a random person, if they have crypto and they're completely noob, likely they have Shiba or Doge.
I know some said individuals. So
yeah, exactly. It's
verified.
Right? Yeah. So
Dylan, let me just jump in there. So thank you for bringing that screen up there. So just what you guys are looking at, think of this thing as basically a bank, right? So what you can do here, if you're a whale, and I know a lot of your listeners are pretty big users of Hex, in the future, right now, currently, all you can do is, well, actually, until we made this, all you can do is go to Uniswap and sell it, right? But now, if you're a guy with a ton of Hedron or a ton of Hex or a ton of Shiba, but you like your Hex, but you need some cash flow, right? You can just deposit your Hex or your Hedron or your Shiba and go borrow some DAI, some USDC, some USDT, right? So you get your rate for depositing, and then you have your rate for borrowing. And this is what rich people do in the real world. Rich people never sell their shares of their businesses if they don't have to. And that's because they like owning their businesses, and it's very profitable for them to own their businesses, and it's very tax heavy to sell things. So if you're Bezos, right, the guy that runs Amazon, that guy is very savvy, ex-hedge fund guy. Before he created Amazon, he never ever sells his shares. He just goes to his private banks and goes, I want $100 million. And they go, sure, it's going to be, and you look at the stable coin rates there, it's going to be, 2% for you, sir. Right. And that's what he does. Right. So this is effectively doing the same sort of thing for large users in the Hex community. And what we're going to try to also do is we're going to try to branch out and bring in people from elsewhere, like the Shiba community, as Dylan alluded to. So for now, this is a tool that will be used by very large users. Ethereum is pretty gas heavy, as you guys are aware, which is why we're doing PulseChain. But some of you guys have pretty big bags and can pay $20, $10 in gas fees to do a transaction, no problem. But when we launch this on PulseChain, it'll become more democratic and accessible to the rest of you. So that's what we're doing here. So we're pretty proud of that. And Cabana, if you don't mind, if we could just quickly show you our progress on Fatty as well while we're at it, which is our wallet aggregator. And this is just a free product that we've built for the community. Dylan, if you could start at markets.
Sure.
So because Nomics sort of disappeared on us, sadly, we've created a markets page, which is now the starting page, and you can see, Hex is rightly there, up in number 4 on a 201. We've kind of put the coins that we think most of you guys care about. So we've got kind of the big blue chips, as well as some of the kind of more community-driven coins like Hedron. We have this other coin that we like to tease called Zen,
Cancer coin,
and whatnot. We're gonna build this out a bit, but we think this is a nice little way, because like basically most of the coin listing sites, Hex is on the 3rd page or something like that.
Yeah.
I like that there's no stables here either, cluttering it up too.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because who cares what USDC is doing today? Usually, some days, but
sometimes you're up 0.1%, others are down.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to try and build our homepage here. We're also going to start including, YouTube, things like this show, and Twitter things from prominent people in the community and in crypto beyond as well. So it'll become like a little bit more interactive. So in the future, look for that. And then obviously you guys have already seen the portfolio feature, but we've renamed bundles Whale Watch, which I like this name probably because I came up with it. So I'm a little bit.
We are talking to the most humble man in the Hex ecosystem.
I'm the second most humble man in crypto after Richard Hart.
Yes.
We created this feature. Dylan, maybe you could pick an interesting wallet to show people. Actually, yeah, go show PH Sachs, number 6 there. So PH Sachs, what's this doing? What this is doing is it's aggregating all of our SAC addresses, so you can see exactly what we're doing with it, which is pretty cool. And you guys can basically add all your wallets together. It's interesting that we don't have the T-share showing up, but maybe give that a refresh.
Yeah. Where's our hex stakes, sir?
Yeah, they're just not loading. But we've supported our wallet, our protocol as well. If you try a different one, Dylan.
Sure.
Just try maybe one with fewer. Yeah, sure. One of the things that this is doing now is it's amalgamating all of your T shares across Hex, HSIs, and your max. I was gonna say that do Fame Sack number 5. Try that. Yeah. Well, anyway, looks like there's a bug with the Hex thing at the moment. But anyway,
where's Dev?
All right. Where's Dev ever?
Can the devs please do something?
I need a Dev. Dev, do something.
We're always looking for people to help work on this one because it's quite laborious.
You're looking for a few people now, right? I saw the Twitter post.
Yeah. I'm just looking to see what kind of skills are out there.
Yep. Okay.
But anyway, yeah, let's move swiftly on. That's embarrassing.
Can I just make a quick comment? So, like, Fatty is awesome. It's way better. So, before this, I was using DBank, but DBank doesn't show Hex at all. It just doesn't show. I think it even shows Hedron, but it doesn't show Hex. Like,
interesting, isn't it?
I just don't get it. It used to show Hex. It used to show Hex staked and everything, and now it just doesn't show it. So, yeah, Fatty's awesome, man. I really like it.
I think they must have made a decision that they didn't want to be promoting Hex, and I kind of get it because well, it's like when you show the net asset value of a stake, that's not a real price, right? So maybe they're afraid to be, like showing people that. But we built this for the community because basically we just interpreted that everybody would try to keep us anyway. So we'll just keep making everything that we need to make the community better until they stop doing that. That's our plan. So, and there's good money to be made in that. So it's like a pretty easy thing to do.
Yeah. What are we looking at here, Dylan or Buck? Is it the amounts that have been deposited so far?
Yeah. So this is just the market size for each of these coins right here on this column here. And then what's been borrowed currently for each of their respective assets, right? But I was going to show you guys how to short Hex if you wanted.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I just wanted to get what's going on here just for everybody who may not be familiar already. So say if you wanted to deposit, say, 1 billion Hedron, I think we had 3 billion sent in there a couple days ago.
You would go to this page here. You go to deposit. Yep. And then you click on whichever one you want to deposit, right? Say I wanted to deposit Hedron, which I don't have. Let's see. I have some stable coins. Let's deposit my $57, right?
Yes.
So just like that, it's gonna ask you for an approval and everything when you start doing this stuff. But I've already approved all this stuff. So, but yep, just like that, I deposited the rest of my stable coins that I actually got from I front ran a big Hedron holder that was dumping, and then shorted Hedron right before he started selling. So made a little bit of a skim there,
Some demo cash, if you will.
No, this is mainnet cash. Oh, but yes, for the demo,
for the purpose of this demo, yes.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So
once you deposit that, so it's in the market there. Is there any? There's no impermanent loss risk or anything like that. People don't have to worry about that. Things like that, correct?
There's no impermanent loss risk, but there is contract risk, right? Okay. Theoretically, the contract could be exploited, but this code has been around and pretty tested, so that's pretty unlikely. So the bigger risk would be exploit risk, and that's why we've built these extra abilities that Aave v2 doesn't have, that basically limit the amount that you can put in to a given token, and limit how much you can do it in a given wallet. This is basically to make it unprofitable for these sort of exploits, right? Because on Aave v2 they can actually put in an infinite amount of Ethereum or whatever, and do weird things, as they did with Curve. So it's interesting. We realized that risk before that happened, and we created these solutions. So we were actually pretty pleased in a way to see somebody try to exploit it with Curve, because it was something that we anticipated. It cost Aave a couple months worth of fees, I think, to plug the hole on that.
Oh yeah, for that Curve thing. Yep.
Yep. So something that we have much better control over. So you're welcome to try to exploit the price, the protocol by manipulating Hex, but it just won't be profitable for you to do it. You'll end up losing more money trying to push the price around than you'll be able to steal from us.
And Dylan, since you deposited your $58, would you be able to, even if you did not borrow against it, would you be able to earn any type of APY on that?
Yeah,
$58.
So I'll be making 0.07% APY on that right now. So
not even doing anything, you just
you just sit there and it accrues. As more people start to use and borrow TVL, the APYs will naturally climb. So it's based on use, right? So right now, the borrowers aren't borrowing very much USDC, so naturally your APY will not be as high. But as the market starts to grow, as the restrictions are lifted, that'll start to grow. So
yeah, so you could go borrow that USDC. If you go back to the main market menu, Dylan, you can borrow at 57 basis points currently. You could probably deposit that on Aave right now, and probably earn more like 1.5 to 2%. So there's an arbitrage just sitting there.
4% on Coinbase.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Well, Coinbase, you're taking probably a little bit of Coinbase credit risk, but yeah, there's an arb right there ready for you guys, if you're willing to take it. But I'm not surprised the Hexicans have been a little bit slow to understand these arbitrage opportunities. It's but
sorry,
it doesn't surprise me at all. Arbitrage is not a restaurant that serves roast beef sandwiches. Just so you guys are that are listening are clear.
Want my horsey sauce, man.
But yeah, these opportunities are there, and the rates will normalize once people start to realize that. But yeah, it's early days.
So my deposit's still pending, so I'm not going to be able to short at the moment because Ethereum sucks ass. So,
and that's why we're waiting on PulseChain.
That's exactly why we're waiting on PulseChain.
Yeah. So I guess we're good, Cabana. There. That's probably our spiel over for the moment.
All right. Well, I mean, we had that was, of course, ePhiat, but PulseChain, could be coming here within a week or two or less. And you do have your fiat version launching over there. Can you just give us a sneak peek real quick? It's not going to launch as PulseChain launches, obviously, but can you give us like a quick little timeline of when,
Yeah.
possibly that could occur?
So we agreed as a community that we'll issue the token pretty much immediately. So that'll happen probably on day 1 or 2. And we'll probably deploy the contract the first week, but we won't make it available to the public and live until we think it's safe. Meaning if PulseChain is not stable or it's super volatile, or there are any kind of issues with it, we won't let the protocol go live until that's over. It's hard to say exactly how long that takes. It could be a month. It could be 3 months. Who knows, right? But that's our plan. But the token will be trading, and I think for you guys that sacrificed, it's interesting to see just how well Efiat's doing on Ethereum. Doing a 5x that people, 6x for some people that people weren't even expecting. I think it bodes well for what's going to happen on PulseChain. So, and this application will be full of TVL, I imagine, because all the largest users on that network are people that probably had a chance to look at fiat, and definitely had a chance to look at the fame sacrifice. So I have much higher personal expectations now for what these sacrifice projects can do on PulseChain. Just based off of what we're seeing, and I'm quite excited about that.
Nice. And as for coins, I know we have like a select list on ePhiat. Do you anticipate on adding more over time, I suppose?
Yeah, definitely. So for now, like we're just in a proof of concept on Ethereum, but we will add many more coins. I'm trying to figure out if I can add Zen, just because I imagine everybody would like to short it. That at least I know I would. Other things as well. On PulseChain, we're going to have all those kind of Richard Hart coins, obviously. We're going to have, importantly, all the stables that people are producing. So it's going to be one of the few places probably initially where, you can probably, deposit your liquid loan stable coin or your earn stable coin or your co stable coin. And, maybe you can deposit it there and then you can borrow USDC against it, so we're going to have all those wrapped in stable coins as well. Then we'll just look around at what's popular and liquid on the PulseChain network. So, if Poor Pledge is a popular liquid coin, then that could be on
list it, bro. Get it listed, man.
It's not really like it's not like I'm picking like my new boyfriend here with coins. I don't pick the one that I like. It's more like if the thing is liquid enough and there's not too much concentration risk and things like that, and then there's actual economic demand for it, then it'll be on the platform.
So how much liquidity would a coin need in order to be suitable for this?
Yeah, so you want something that's not going to drop 30% in a single block, right?
Okay.
Like if it's that kind of coin, if the coin can do that, that's not suitable. And then you want something that doesn't have massive concentration risk. The caveat being there is with our product, we are accepting that risk with 2 individuals, one being the Hex OA and the other being the Hedron SA. But both of those individuals could create headaches for us if they wanted to. But we're accepting that risk because we don't think it's a problem. It's there, but we don't think it's actually.
Something tells me that the PA, the pleb address, wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We got to do some looking at it. But yeah, something like that. Yeah, because basically, if you did, let's say you and I got in a fight one day, I ghosted you on Tinder or whatever, and you said, "Well, I'm gonna dump the price of poor pleb, and basically borrow a bunch of stable coins in the same block, against my poor pleb to get back at Buck." You could do that. So that's what I have to worry about, is that sort of stuff. But I don't think the Hedron SA is going to do that. And I don't think
I think you're more likely to fall out with the Hexa way than you are with me, bro.
Yeah, that's probably right. But I think with Hex, at least, I think we all have to take this risk, this sort of risk around the OA. I think we all accept it, and that as a community, it's there, but that's also why this isn't it's probably gonna be unlikely that you get support from things like Aave for quite some time, right? For this.
No, it makes sense, man. I get it.
And this mirrors the real world. Like if you're getting a mortgage, they like doctors and lawyers and government employees, people that can't get fired, basically, right? They get the best mortgage rates. Right. And they can go into any bank in the country and get a mortgage really easily. Whereas if you're like a stripper or,
so you say shit coins are basically the strippers of the real world.
Yeah. If you're like a stripper, self-employed, or, even like just like a crypto degen, try going into Wells Fargo and being like, "Hey, can I have a mortgage?" And they're going to be like, "Okay, what's your occupation?" And it's like, "Oh, I'm a crypto degen. I trade."
I'm a shitcoin founder.
Shitcoin founder. What's gonna happen when you go into NatWest? And you say, "Hey, can I get a massive mortgage, please?" Yeah, I created something called Poor Pleb. It's a meme coin. Based on a large
no.
That's
even if you got cash up front, they wouldn't let you buy the property.
Yeah.
Where did you get this money from? A shit coin? That isn't secure. Yeah, but the money's in my bank, bro. Like, what are you talking about? No.
That's another great point. That's another fantastic point. So the whole KYC thing. So what's great about this protocol is it doesn't care who you are. The only thing is no Americans are allowed to use this protocol. We've made a nice disclaimer. So we thank you, Americans, you awful people, for not taking that protocol ever.
That's why I'm in China.
China.
Dylan's in China. There's a lot of Canadians in the Fiat TG.
Shanghai, by the way, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But anyway,
There you go.
it's getting a little
Smart
nipply
man.
out here. I might move
Let's
inside.
go, baby.
But continue, Buck. Yeah.
Yeah. So Hexy Bastard and I are on a roll here. We quite like this protocol for that reason. We're serving the Hex community and other underserved communities. And we know a lot of you guys are doing pretty well, and you are long-term thinkers about Hex, but you also want cash flow sometimes, right? Now that's really easy. So all you whales with 10,000 T shares, you don't have to go dump the price of this asset that you love, or you can just go borrow $100,000 and get your Rolex that way, and stay invested.
Oh shit!
There you go.
Good stuff, man.
Oh man.
We need these tools, man. It's going to help the Hex price not get dumped as as far. Like that guy who sold, how much did he sell? Like 10 million hex at 2 cents. And it's like, if he'd just sold it 3 months earlier, he would have had a lot more money. Like so
or
much
later.
more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or
DO1.
later. Yeah.
No, yeah, that guy he sold 160 million hex at 2 cents.
Oh God.
DO1, one of our buddies.
Oh, these era ones.
Loves dumping.
Yeah, love
Yep.
it. He got everyone.
Yeah, and now DO1 can just borrow. If
There
you're
you go.
listening to
There you
DO1,
go.
try borrowing. It's better. It's actually better. People have an idea that debt is a bad thing. Debt's a wonderful thing if you use it properly.
It's a great tool.
It's a wonderful tool. Especially if you're rich already. It's less good if you're doing payday lending or like going to your local
cash advance.
like Shylock, yeah, exactly. But like if you're a rich person, like debt is your friend.
Even a business.
Depending on where you are,
you can write off against it, right? Like most tax jurisdictions, you can write off against borrowing. So that's what rich people do anyway. They just take loans out against their assets constantly.
Exactly. Yeah. So speak to your CPA. We're not allowed to give you tax advice, and your CPA, by the way, won't know what the fuck to tell you about crypto. But we're supposed to tell you to go to them. But yeah, borrowing is generally in most Anglo-Saxon jurisdictions considered not to be a capital gain. So you can definitely make that argument.
And there we go. Well, thank you guys for that. I think that was a good little synopsis of what's been going on and why the importance of it is there. So, and all the stuff to come, of course. Any other questions for the Fiat crew in the chat? Let me know. I'm logging all your questions for everything I'm seeing here, so I do have those saved for those who have asked questions. We plan to get onto those later, but since I do have Dylan and Buck here, I know they have another engagement later, but let me know in the chat. All right. While that goes on, our friend Hexy Boston down there. What brings you here, sir? I hear rumblings of PPs and inches and
absolute shitcoinery, mate. Like total shitcoinery. Okay,
now
so you know how
you messaged me and you were like, something about a Dex, and I was like, I jokingly said like, what, 8inch.io, and you're like, no, 9inch, and I was like, spot on, almost.
You hit the nail on the head, man. No, so you know how you have 1inch.io, we are releasing soon 9inch.io, which is going to be a Dex / yield farming platform, which is available on Ethereum and on PulseChain. It's going to be supporting all your favorite projects in general. Please run that video. This video is the one, mate. Just go for it.
Was the sound playing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
9inch. Rock hard Dex. 9inch.io.
So I already seen that video a couple of hours ago, and it killed me, man. It fucking killed me. Shout out to Crypto Mediator for making that for us. So basically, like long story short, 9inch is a Dex / yield farm, which is available on Ethereum and PulseChain. It's going to be supporting all your favorite protocols. It's basically going to be, the easiest way to describe it is that it's going to be a fork of PulseX, but it's not actually a fork of PulseX. It's a fork of PancakeSwap and of Uniswap V2. But it means that you are going to be able to go and take liquid assets, say like Hex or Hedron or Maxi or whatever, and you can go and earn yield on that by using our DEX and just providing liquidity on there instead. So it's something that I think there is a product market fit for, because there's no prominent meme coin DEX out there anyway on Ethereum. And PulseChain is always going to need a second largest DEX. So we want to be the second biggest DEX on Ethereum by far. But I think even without PulseChain, we'll do incredibly well. We've actually got like a fully working testnet already up. The devs have been working on this since like January, February time, and they've built an incredibly amazing product. And I'm really, really like proud of this and being able to support this protocol. The devs are the guys behind the original PulseDoge, and I've been working with them on and off for a while now. And these guys are awesome. They've built something amazing here. In fact, I might even just share my screen actually, and then I can show you. Just give me a sec.
While you're pulling that up, I can hear some Hexkin / PulseChain say in my head right now, but we have PulseX. Why another DEX, or what is the need? So you're saying that this is, has the meme coin kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's more for like meme coins and exotic coins in general. But I'll show you a table of comparisons in a minute. So here is 9inch.io, the rock hard DEX, staking and yield farming for PulseChain and Ethereum. You can grow your holdings, and we're going to be supporting everything from PLD all the way to Maxi to Hedron to Porpleb. You're going to be able to stake coins single-sided and receive yield on them.
How about shit coins that are marketed to India?
So we're going to be listing like DBI on there, and like for example, if we were already working, we would have had Pepe on there like 3 days ago. We can be quick and we can get these guys listed and offer them. Basically, we can offer utility to zero utility coins. That was one of the things that they sold me on straight away. Porpleb is a zero utility coin. They knew that I was looking to do staking, and they approached me saying, "Hey, you can do that on our platform. Would you be interested?" We got talking, and then they asked me to be a co-founder for it over time because like we shared similar ideas about what we want to be doing. But yeah, like internet money, Hedron, Maxi, all of that stuff, you're going to be able to go and earn yield on it. We're going to be doing, 1 second, let me bring this up. So the thing I wanted to show you guys, right? So this is why you need the second largest DEX on PulseChain, okay? Let me just show you that little, so safe DEX. We're going to have double audits and all of that stuff. So it's going to be double wrapped for
memes everywhere.
Safety. Yeah. So this is the bit I wanted to show you guys. So, these are random DEXs on different platforms. Okay, so you got BuySwap on Binance, ZyberSwap on Arbitrum, and Beethoven X on Phantom. Yeah. BuySwap has $147 million TVL, total value locked, and it does nearly $6 million of volume every single day. ZyberSwap on Arbitrum has $21 million of total value locked, and it's $18 million a day in volume. Phantom does, it has Beethoven X on Phantom has $82 million of total value locked, and it does nearly $4 million of volume every day. 9inch is benefiting from the buy and burn exactly the same as PulseX does. So all of the money that goes through the DEX is going to be allowing you to go and buy and burn the 9inch token. The only difference is that we don't have the OA No Expectations Fund. That goes to burn our incentive token, buy and burn our incentive token, which is BBC, which obviously does stand for Big Bonus Coin, nothing else. So yeah, anyways. So you got 9inch and you got BBC. We've got a working testnet already up and running. You can go on there and you can farm basically with just about anything in the Hex community. So you can actually use liquid Hex that you're just providing liquidity on and go and farm with it. I set up a small pool earlier. I bought 0.1 ETH's worth of Hex earlier today. The Hex pool is pushing out 1,862% APY right now. And in a few hours, I've accumulated 5 BBC, call it. Near enough. Okay. And obviously we don't know what the value of BBC is going to be, but basically the thing is with liquidity farming is very similar to Cake and Pancake Swap, is that like people go where yield is. If you can get yield just by like providing liquidity or doing whatever else, we do single-sided staking of course as well, but you're going to be able to just earn yield on your liquid tokens. So for example, if you're a guy that's like, oh, I like Hex, but I don't really want to stake it, you can go and park your Hex here and earn yield on it while it's essentially liquid. Because all you have to do is pull it out when you want. By the way, you don't remove liquidity here; you pull it out, and you don't add liquidity; you insert it. You know, there's loads of like little innuendos here and there, all over the place. But you can do single-sided staking. Let me bring this page up, the pools page. So you've got there are meant to be more on here actually, but it's the devs are like working on it constantly. So you can like stake 9inch and you can stake BBC. Those two are going to have the highest yielding pairs on them, and the reason for this is because 9inch and BBC.
Sorry, does BBC stand for Big Black?
Big bonus coin.
Oh, not okay. All right.
Big bonus coin. I don't know why you would assume something so disgustingly dirty. Oh god, gross. But anyway, yeah. So
It's racist.
It is racist. Yes, you're right.
No, you are for saying it's.
Oh,
correct.
I'm racist. Oh
I'm
no,
kidding.
well,
I'm
no,
kidding.
it's
I'm
not
kidding.
disgusting.
You have a problem with BBCs, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess so. It's bigger than mine. That's the problem. No, I'm joking. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, essentially this is going to be the second largest DEX on PulseChain. The reason that I think this is bullish versus say PulseX is because PulseX has got $1 billion weighing it down. I don't think this is going to have $1 billion weighing it down. I would like it to, but I don't think it will. And people are going to go where the yield is. So if you're holding Maxi and you just want to hold Maxi anyway because you're going to hold a 15-year perpetual for say 10 to 15 years, you can put your Maxi in here and just let it work for you. And then you can earn yield on your Maxi. You can earn yield on your Hedron, your ICOSA. Probably ePhiat will be supported as well. I know you guys are offering yield on your own platform, but it's like literally everything. If there's liquidity, if we can provide liquidity for it, we're going to give yield on it. So it's just a fantastic amalgamation. There's no real pancake swap on Ethereum.
We need multiple DEXs, in my opinion, as well, because it makes it harder to manipulate and things like that. So it's like really good, for people running things like fiat or liquid loans and whatnot. That we're going to have multiple price sources and things like that. So I'm glad to see
absolutely.
That
You need the competition, man. It like boosts everything up. So like. We're going to be.
The other thing is we'll have the routers, right? That'll basically we'll end up using. Like I think Power City's building one, if I'm correct.
Yep.
If I'm incorrect, correct me. But I'm just going to use that to basically execute my trades for me, and it'll route through PulseX mostly, but not always. Right.
Yeah, if there's a better deal on our DEX, then it's just going to route via that. And we're hoping that we can obviously get listed on, Matcha and 1inch and all of these guys as well. So people might well be using our DEX without even realizing it, which is most awesome. Likely. Yeah. Because the more volume that goes through our DEX, the more the buy and burn works, and the more that people will be basically buying our tokens without even realizing it. And you can go to the burn page. I think someone recently ran it, but for example, if I was to run it right now, I would earn a fourth of a penny, for example. But it's just, I think someone just ran it like very recently, so that's why. But you can do the buy and burn exactly the same as you do on PulseX. The only difference is that there's no 1%, no expectations fee that goes to the OA. This is just all going for buy and burn. So we have the same rate on the 9inch token, which is the one that we're running the sacrifice for, which is also a DAO. So the reason that you might want the DAO is because you can use that to vote yield for various projects. So for example, if you're, say UBook, right, you've got Fiat, you might want some of this 9inch token because you can vote for Fiat to get better yield of the BBC. And if it, depending on the votes that come through, then it will be like either higher or lower on the spectrum. So, and then the other good thing about this as well is that people are going to buy whatever. So let's say everyone got identical yield, but there was more people providing liquidity for, say, Poor Pleb and less people for Fiat. People are going to go and buy Fiat because then they can provide the liquidity for it and then get the increased fees, like the higher percentages based on that. So, for example, right now, you've got ETH BBC, that's at 1,500%. ETH PP is at 2,300%. Let me find a good one. Zen, for example. Any of you Zenians out there, you want to earn yield on liquid Zen? Boom, here you go. 5,653% APY on
But there's a reason that the yield is that high. It's because that 5,000% yield needs to compensate you for the minus 10,000% loss that you're going to have.
Maybe so. But so this is all Uniswap V2 as well. So for example, if you're a guy who likes Zen and you provide liquidity, Zen versus ETH, you're not bothered which one of those pairs you get left with, right? So you're happy with the ETH, you're happy with the Zen. You're bullish on Zen long term, so you want more Zen. So actually, if the price of Zen goes down versus ETH, you're going to get more Zen for that anyway. But while you're doing that, guess what? Free money just for putting it in our protocol. So anyone who provides liquidity in general is going to enjoy this protocol. And people go where yield is. If yield is available, people will go there and they will use the protocol. If one of these is sitting at 10,000% and everything else is at 1,000, people are going to buy up that token to get that yield. They just will. So I think it's an incredible project, and I'm really thankful for the PulseStage guys for bringing me in on it, because I'm so fucking bullish on it. This is the reason why this token I don't think it will dump on launch either, because if you've got the 9-inch token when it launches, the yield is going to be so ridiculously high at the beginning when no one's in, that you can place that in to even the single-sided pool and you will kill it on the yield at least for a month or something. So you're going to get like the best possible rate that will ever exist for that first month. So I don't even think this token will dump on launch at all, but no expectations and all that shit. I don't know what will happen, but it's just... And also, guys, this is ready. This is ready to rock and roll. As soon as this audit's done, we're going to launch it. We're doing the sacrifice phase probably starting next week. As soon as the sac phase is done and the totals are done, we are launching this on Ethereum. And that's something that also is slightly better than PulseX, because PulseX is only going to be on PulseChain. We're going to be on Ethereum and PulseChain and probably X1 when that comes out. And we'll probably go to BNB and we'll probably go to Phantom. We'll go to every chain with this. We want this to be the premium hotspot for any meme coin in general, but we're going to be PulseChain centric as well. So all of our PulseChain coins are going to be on there anyway, because I'm from that community and we're all from that community. So we want them on there. But like I said earlier, Pepe just went on this mad run over the last few days. We're quick to the mark. If we see a coin like that come along, bang, it's listed. It's fucking on there. And then their whole community is coming over and they're trading on there and they're providing liquidity on there. And then those guys are going to be, earning yield. And it's just free advertising for us, because we're going to offer utility to zero utility coins. That's why I got sold on it in the first place with PP. They came to me and said, we can give you utility for free. All you have to do is move your liquidity here. And I was just instantly sold on it. I don't think there's a token founder out there who founds a meme coin that is going to say no to this. It's just not going to happen. We're already talking to the DDI guys, for example. And we're probably going to get the dev on board with all of this. And I don't know if you guys have seen the dev videos, but they are fucking brilliant. He might well be shilling this in the future. It's just got a bright future about it, I think. So yeah.
You mentioned advertising, and of course, multiple blockchains potentially. This being on. To me, coming from advertising, that just screams like, what an awesome way to market PulseChain if you have this DEX on other chains, and then you could just throw banners all over the place, be like, "Hey, want cheap transactions? Come over to PulseChain." So all that stuff.
Well, I hear that the guys from Power City just did portal swap, and there's no reason why we can't integrate that into what we're doing here in the future. This is a work in progress. Like, it's a working product now, and it will work as it is. But we can add. We're already going to add probably Uniswap V3 liquidity in the future. We can integrate, PancakeSwap does up to, I think it's 100x leverage. I might be wrong, but I think it's up to 100x leverage you can do with PancakeSwap right now. We're going to be integrating all of those features as well. Mate, there's just so much that we can do. Like, we have a working product now, but we can just build like any good features that come to the blockchain. We can have all of them here. And this is going to be like the premium hotspot for meme coins. And you all know, like, as much as Hexicans hate to admit it, meme coins make up a huge percentage of the crypto market. All the little guys are going in on meme coins, hoping that they can turn. I seen a guy turned $80 into $2 million with Pepe recently. $80 to $2 million in like a week. Imagine being that guy. Like, what the fuck? You got nothing.
And dreams, man. Hopes and dreams.
For every one of them, there's 1,000 rug pulls, right? Okay, don't get me wrong. It's all bullshit. Right. It's all bullshit. But at the same time, it's just like, this is
But
happening.
you can
whether
be a
we
part
like it or
of the Rock Hard Dex Casino.
Exactly,
The Hard
man.
Rock Casino, the Rock Hard Casino.
We want to make the premium hotspot for meme coins. We want meme coins to be begging to get listed on this because we offer the best yield. We got the best branding. We got the best platform in general. Like, that's what we want, and I think we're going to do it. I really do.
Well, thank you for that. Before we move on to the PulseChain and the Federator phase of the show, I do have some questions in chat regarding this. So I guess there's lots of questions on the sacrifice, and I know it's the S word, and Hexkin skin crawls when they hear that word, understandably so. So can you give us just a quick, less than one sheeter on what the sacrifice entails, the date, and how it's going to run?
So we haven't picked an exact date yet. It will run for 30 days. I'm none of these details are completely finalized yet. We're going to start it probably early next week. And I think it's going to be 10,000 9-inch tokens per dollar. There will be a volume bonus up to 2.5x. And the rate goes down after 10 days for the next 20 days, only to 80 cents, 80 tokens per dollar, 80,000 tokens per dollar, whatever it will be, right? I can't remember off the top of my head. But we actually might even shorten the sac phase because the product is ready and we really just want to get it out. So it's going to be a short window for sacrifice. And once the tokens are minted from the sacrifice, that will be the total number of 9-inch tokens ever created. And then it's deflationary only from there onwards because it's all going to get buy and burned. So there will be no extra tokens ever added. And that is the token that people need to vote their protocol up in the yield farming, like where it's going to go. So it's bullish for many reasons on that basis. So yeah, it's going to be a fairly short sacrifice phase, probably starting soon. If you want to know more about it, I would suggest going to our Telegram, which is t.me/Dex 9-inch, number 9-inch, DEX 9-inch. Go to that and then and ask around in there. But yeah, it's going to be pretty soon, man. We're done. We're done with the product. We just need to get it audited, which is going to get in the works from next week. So we're actually getting 2 audits on this. We're going to do 1 audit, and then as soon as that one's done, we're going to get a second audit done as well, just to be extra safe. We want this thing to have hundreds of millions of dollars total value locked in the long run. So yeah, we need it to be super safe.
So the last thing that struck me was a short sacrifice phase is a little bit off-brand. Don't you want a long sacrifice phase?
I do want a long sacrifice phase, but look, guys, I want to beat PulseX to market. I'm just saying, like, straight up, we want to beat PulseX to market.
It's gonna be close.
Is it though? Is it?
I don't know, man.
If we don't, we don't. But look, there's always going to be space for a second largest DEX on PulseChain. We want to be in the top 5 or 10 on Ethereum. We want to be the top fucking 1 on Z1 when that comes out. We want to be the top 3 on BNB. We just want to be up there with the top of the guys, like, for everything that we're doing. So, yeah. It's not going to be too hard to do that, actually, surprisingly. For the meme coin market, there's not many people competing for this. So we get to go in and kill it. So
nice. Well, thank you for that. I think we got to most of the questions. Will 9-inch integrate with Portal X?
Maybe.
No expectations.
Maybe.
No expectations.
Yes.
Wink, nod. All right. Let's see what else we got. All right, I think that's it regarding...
Kinetics is bullish on it, actually. I can see Kinetics, shout out you, bro. I can see that you're bullish on this. So, yeah, you understand, man. It's not about maximalism, right? You need more products to fit everything together. It's going to bring more... Like, think of the meme coin crowd. Like, what is PulseChain doing to bring the meme coin crowd in? Like, not very much, honestly. So, we want those guys over there getting the cheap transactions and trading with that. And then every trade they do, it burns PulseChain. That's what we want. So
I like it. Maybe I'll just comment on that too briefly, because I'm sure a couple people are thinking it. We're also making a DEX called PHUX. It's a balancer fork, and we're going to be basically giving it away for free to various wallets. And
for free.
Yeah,
Free, you
yeah,
say?
for free.
No sacrifice phase, sir.
No sacrifice phase. We've already made people do a lot of sacrificing. This is like going to be a freebie. But yeah, we kind of think similar to you, Hexy. It's good to have multiple dexes. It's good to have different types of communities served. We're going to be serving kind of like the more techie people that are trying to do arbitrage things, on like stable coins and on, coins that are derivatives of each other, like the Maxi guys, for example, in kind of pools of, 6 coins or something like that. This is all actually beneficial to PulseChain. Believe it or not, I know a lot of people want to be maxis on PulseX, but
yeah,
not everybody, Uniswap, V2 or whatever Richard's forking with PulseX, it doesn't do absolutely everything that every DEX can do, right? You want to have a wide variety of options for people, and it's a very nice thing to have. So yeah, it's good that we're building all these different things. And yeah, Richard doesn't do meme coins very well, right? It's not his forte, right?
Nope.
But it is
serious financial products only. So
yeah. And I
that
probably
30-40% of the crypto market doesn't care about that shit, man.
Yeah,
they want meme
like
coin,
NFTs are another example of something that Richard doesn't really care about. So could Richard make an NFT platform? Probably, definitely, almost certainly. Is it something that he's really super passionate about? Probably not. So I think it's good that community members who might be passionate about those things go and make those types of platforms, because they will draw in a ton of people. That's for sure. And I can't wait to see us have our own version of Pepe. The guys that are saying, "Oh, this takes away from Hex price," I don't really think it does, because all that value in those coins at the end of the cycle basically goes back to the kind of native tokens. And on PulseChain, that's going to be Hex and Pulse, really, I think.
Absolutely.
But those ridiculous green candles that meme coins create is what draws in speculators and people like you said, and yield farming is a big part of that. So it's not exactly a problem for PulseChain that people are creating these things. It's actually a good thing.
Yeah. Someone in the chat just there was saying, like, why sacrifice phase? Well, the whole idea is to have a lot of liquidity. So whilst I can't give expectations about what would happen with that sack money, it's like you need liquidity. If you haven't got no liquidity, then no one's going to use your DEX. If you've got $100 worth of liquidity on Hex, who's going to buy? The slippage will be crazy. No one's going to do it. So you need liquidity. That's the point, right? So anyway, not getting too much, but I completely agree with you, Buck. You need competition in every aspect of this. You want this to be the next biggest chain that comes along after Ethereum. There needs to be options for everything. So yeah.
And we are on a little Hex pump while y'all are talking. So all this talk of rock hard DEX is
everyone's dumping their peaks,
getting people excited for the Hexes. And apologies for my video feed. Must be the Gina internet. So I'm just going to go audio for a little bit. Well, thank you, Hexy man, for
appreciate it, bro,
sharing that. And I think it was great to have Buck on here too, to as someone who is also doing something similar. It was a good discussion on both sides. So thank you for that.
But the name of my DEX isn't an inappropriate theme like.
That's right.
Yeah, mine's incredibly dirty. We're just going straight down the
PHX is kind of more classy. We're like the classier.
Sounds sophisticated, huh?
Yeah, we're
Bucks or 9-inch. Take your pick, boys. Look, we got something for everyone.
Any cross chain swapping? All right. Anyway. All right.
There will be some cross chain action going on. You can swing both ways on PHUX and 9-inch.
There we go. and make your own memes, everyone. Get in those Telegram rooms and, have at it. All right. Finally, David has been waiting patiently down here. But let's talk some PulseChain, man, because that's the most exciting thing. I think that a lot of Hexkins are just like on edge about. We just had this huge Hex buy across the wires here, $500,000. So it's the next week or two is going to be absolutely, I think, quite fun in my opinion. I think I've heard Buck on some spaces echo that sentiment as well, and also a tweet or two. How do you feel like where we're at? We can get into all the speculation stuff, but you've been doing a lot of validator stuff recently, and that's been all the rage. We've got Huddle Dog, posting all about his. We even got Motley Investor, and others doing it. So how's this process gone for you? I know you're like helping tons of people out. I guess I touched on a lot there, but why validate? I guess just for those who are watching and are just brand new to PulseChain, why even consider being a validator for this? We can start from there and then go on to how things have gone.
Yeah. Yep. So at a high level, we're forking Ethereum for PulseChain. Ethereum switched to proof of stake, so the validators kind of mine the blocks now instead of using video cards like they used to back in the day, right?
Mm.
So that's cool. So that's basically what we're doing. So instead of running a video card, all you need is just a small little computer or a server, or you can rent a computer in the cloud, and then basically you're mining the blocks, right? Now we call it proposals. You're proposing a block, or you're attesting and kind of stamping your approval on a block. And all you do is you just put in 32 million pulse for each validator wallet you want to make, and then you just let it run. And that's kind of it in a nutshell. And that's how all the transactions on the PulseChain get processed and kind of added to the blockchain.
And for these efforts, you may reap some rewards. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct. I believe there's two types. I think there's tips. When somebody does a transaction, they could tip you. And then I think in each block, there is a small reward.
And real briefly, what is the downside to it? If is one, which I believe there is.
Yeah.
Go offline or something like that.
Yeah, there's two. There's two ways this could go kind of wrong. One of them is if you're just offline, the penalty's not that bad. If you're offline for an hour or two, it will deduct some pulse from your validator, so you will be losing, but it's not much. If you're offline for a month, okay, you've lost some pulse. That's not great. So being offline, don't want to do that. The worst thing that could really happen is if somebody was to hack your validator, or if they got a hold of your 24-word seed phrase that you're using for your validator, if they get that, they could import that into their own validator, turn it on at the same time as yours, and then you're going to get slashed. And then it basically deletes half your pulse, and then it kicks you out of the network. So that's worst case scenario. That's the biggest risk, in my opinion.
Footsteps would like to know how to set up one of these, or how long does it take to set up one of these things?
I just made a video like 3 or 4 hours ago, and I did it in like 30 minutes. And I have a guide that I made on GitLab. I made a video to go with it. You can just copy and paste, and it's like 100 lines of code, and that's as simple as I could make it. That's as easy as it gets, and then you can customize it from there.
And for those aspiring validators out there, do you have to know enough to be dangerous? Like who can do this and who should avoid it? I guess is a good way of asking.
That's a great point. I agree. I think you should kind of know what you're doing with the computer a little bit. You're not too shy. Maybe you've played with Linux before. That'd be cool. You want to be familiar. If you don't know anything about computers and you don't like computers and you don't care about servers or want to tinker, I don't recommend doing it. What you can do instead is just wait until PulseChain Mainnet comes out. And then word on the street is Alex from Hedron, he might be forking Rocket Pool. So then in the future, if you want to stake your Pulse, but you don't want to run a server, you go to the Rocket Pool website, you stake your Pulse, and then it actually sends it to a guy like me, and it automatically puts it on my server. So that'll be like decentralized staking. That'll be in the future on Mainnet, but I would recommend that for people who aren't tech savvy.
Yeah, sounds like that could be the Rocket Pool fork a bit away. It sounds like Alex might be still in the discovery phase. I was just reading some of his chat in one of the Telegram rooms, and he was asked about it, and he says it depends if I can strip out the majority of the DAO that is not DeFi. I guess that's from the protocol. And then he also said a good chunk of Rocket Pool can be removed that way, as it's more self-serving for the company backing it than anything. So that's good. I guess he would put the DeFi back in, into it a little bit, getting rid of, the fat, if you will. So
yes. Yeah. For the, just to clarify on that, Rocket Pool on Ethereum is basically run by a company, and these devs are taking care of it, and they're trying to make money, and they have a business. So yeah, that part is centralized. I think really just their validator technology is what's decentralized, right? Because you run it on other people's nodes. So yeah, it would be a far way out. And they actually just had the upgrade for withdrawals on Rocket Pool, because it took them a little while after the with Chapella. So Rocket Pool just had 11% increase in the amount of ETH that just got staked like yesterday. So that just hit the news. So it's gaining popularity.
And there you go. Any other, you made, I guess, a video a few hours ago. You also, feel free to, are you doing hardware as well?
Yes. Yep. So I made a website called validatorstore.com. If you don't have the kit to build your own validator, I have everything available. It's like a tiny little Intel NUC mini computer, and then I get the RAM and I get the little solid state hard drive, and I build it for you. I put it together, I test it, make sure it all works, and then I package it all up, and then I ship it out to you. So if anybody's interested, I've got that, validatorstore.com, and love to send you out one.
Now, would someone need to buy multiple validators, like one for each 32 million, or can they run multiple validators on a unit?
Yep. So on one unit, you can run I think 1,024 wallets total, which would be I forget how many billions and billions of pulse. So yes, one little mini computer will do hundreds and hundreds of wallets for billions of pulse. Yep. You really only need one. I have a recommendation. If you have a lot of pulse, let's say you're going to do 200 wallets, that's so much pulse that you're going to put on one machine. I would recommend buying a second one and just leaving it in your closet. So that way, if you have a hardware failure on your first one, you can just walk over to your closet, grab a brand new one fresh, set it up, type your seed words in, and you're up and running. And then you fix your first one later. So that way you minimize your downtime. But that's only if you're very, very serious about this.
So if you had 200, would it be better to just split it with 100 and 100?
You could.
And take the load off of the main one and reduce risk of that frying, or no?
Are you really reducing your risk, or are you doubling it? Because one of them could do them all, but now you've got two running. So if one goes down, you lose half. And then you got to move those over to the other. So it's up to you, kind of.
I guess I was thinking from an equipment standpoint. So if 200 is maxing out the equipment, wouldn't 100 half the load in a sense and take that stress off? Or am I thinking about it wrong?
The number of validator wallets you make doesn't really matter, because you're only running one copy of the blockchain.
Okay, that's what I was getting.
Yeah. So really, from 1 to 100, the computer doesn't feel any difference.
Question from Nico G. I've seen this one before on the Twitters, and there are varying opinions from it. If I didn't sacrifice for PulseChain, is it better to use the money to buy Pulse instead of the money validator equipment?
I completely agree. And I think it was maybe even K4K who originally said this. I completely agree. If you did not sacrifice, take that money and buy Pulse. Do not buy a validator server, right? You got to get Pulse first. Yeah, that should be your priority. Or even right now, I mean, probably buying Hex to hold for the fork to PulseChain, and then maybe selling some of that for Pulse, whatever your strategy is. Yeah, do not buy a validator if you don't have a 32 million plus Pulse waiting for you on day one.
And there you go. Hexy Boston, any questions or comments? I'm just watching the Hex price slowly creep up. It's the Cabana pump, which has become a thing here the past month or two. So we're at
Of course, man. So
5.7 cents. Go ahead.
One of the things that people have actually asked me a lot, and I really don't know enough about it, is that, like, say, for example, if you hadn't sacrificed much for PulseChain, I'm a guy, I literally, I'm not joking, I sack less than $100 for PulseChain, and I feel like a fucking idiot.
Oh,
you know,
that's the saddest
because
shit I heard all
at the
day.
time, I'd only just got into Hex, right? And I was like, look, man, I got all this Hex. I like the Hex. I don't want to sell the Hex to... or, well, you know, sacrifice the Hex. I don't want to do that. So I was like, oh, fuck it. I'll just chuck like 100 quid in or whatever. I'm getting people asking me, like, is it worth being a validator or just buying PulseChain on the dip? Now, for me, I think buying PulseChain on the dip would be way better. But what do you think? Like, is it worth setting a validator up and just, you know, doing something with that?
You gotta,
no.
Yep. Everybody in that situation should buy PulseChain coins. Yeah, don't buy a server. Yeah, buying a validator is only good if you already have a lot of Pulse and you just want to earn a little more passively.
Yeah. That's what I thought as well. Like, there's just no point, really, is there? Like, you want to just wait for the. Here's controversial opinion, by the way. You were asking this on your last stream, Cabana, and I wished I was on at the time. You were saying, like, oh, what will the PulseChain price and the PulseX price do after launch? Like, will it go below the sack rate? Oh my god, it's totally going below the fucking sack rate. Like, it's totally going.
You
below
think so?
that.
Well, first of all, before we get
mate.
into that, Sandy B asks, and I just got like, Hexy, $100? The fuck is this?
I had no money, bro. Like,
You poor pleb.
I was so skinned. Like, you don't get it. Like, I was throwing everything I had into Hex and trying to get like a couple of T-shirts. Yeah, I was like really desperately trying to get a couple of T-shirts. I had no fucking money, mate. I had no money, and like I'm just
giving you a hard time.
I know,
Oh,
but
I don't
like,
know, should have given a hand job behind the Tesco's or something, bro. Jeez, $100? Come on, man. What are you doing?
yeah, exactly. No, that's what I should have been doing. But like at the time, right, I was working like a plebby job, didn't really have much disposable income. Found out about Hex after I just got wrecked on Bitcoin. Like, and I mean, I was buying the fucking top of Bitcoin, right? Like, and then I got wrecked, and then I found out about Hex. I was like, oh, this sounds like a good idea. Rolled all my money into that, and then Hex did go up like 10x from where I stopped buying at, and I thought, oh my god, I fucking done it. I'm a genius. And then it went right down below where I started buying it at. So it's just one of them, man. But
That's the rite of passage of crypto, man.
Yeah.
The first cycle, you always get wrecked.
It's funny, right? Because I've only been through one cycle, but I feel like because I've been around the Hex people, and not just the Hex people, but just like the guys that I'm around in general, right? They've been around a lot longer than I have. And I feel like I've been through 2 cycles or 3 cycles already. Like, I feel like I got the knowledge to just kill it on the next one because, like, we're around the right people and we're in the right community for that stuff. But yeah, man, I wish I'd have just gone in a bit more on PulseChain. But at the same time, it's like, I'm pretty sure it's going to dip down below the price I bought it at. So it's whatever.
Well, that is a topic we will get into shortly because the questions are flying in for David. So let's knock these out rapid fire style, if we can. First up, Footsteps. Are those small PCs in your store stable temperature-wise?
Yes, they are. Yep. It has a little fan inside, and it actually has a copper block for a heat sink for the solid state hard drive and like a thermal like sticker pad that's in there. So yeah, mine's running great. Hasn't overheated at all.
Next up, Scott. Can you become a validator later on, like months after launch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Whenever you want later. Yep, totally.
Media Heart Zone, how much is the approximate yield from a validator? And then a bunch of emojis that show up as text. So yes.
It starts off in the beginning at like 30%, but then it goes down as more validators join. So it'll depend on how many validators join, and there's
The
no way
early
to tell.
birds get the worms.
Yes, in the beginning, the first day of PulseChain will be the most highest APY day for validators ever. So yeah, I think it's gonna be guys like me. Like first day of PulseChain, like I'm not answering my phone. Don't call me.
Straight up, chilling.
Yeah, I'll be busy.
Chilling straight up. Like
Yeah.
it's the same for 9-inch, man. Like 9-inch first day yield. Oh god, that's gonna be sexy. That'll be the best day that'll ever exist on the platform, and I'm sure it's exactly the same for PulseChain, even though I know fuck all,
Yeah.
really. But like, yeah.
Metallic Elmo. David, if you use virtualization software like Hyper-V or VMware and set up a Pulse validator as a virtual machine, would that be beneficial for moving nodes to different hardware in case you need to?
Mate, my brain is melting.
I have no idea
Like-
what to do with that.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
I know exactly what he's saying.
Of course you do. That's why you're
like-
here.
If you're that fancy, if you're using Hyper-V or VMware, just get yourself a device that has like more storage, and then just get yourself like the two servers, right? And then do Hyper-V replica or use VMware vMotion, so that way it'll automatically load balance your server between the two pieces of hardware. So if you're that cool with virtualization, like do it proper and just have it auto scale.
There you have it. You get all that, Hexy?
Just to say that's overkill. Like, you
No,
shouldn't-
I didn't. But
like you don't have to.
I'll
do all
pretend.
that.
Yeah. I get you. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's that's too much. It's overkill, right? Like you don't need that. You could just run this on like a gaming desktop computer, and it'll be fine.
And there are, I guess, what in the event that you're an area of, I don't know, storms or power outages, or is there like a power backup that you would recommend, or is that the best way to go? Like a little unit?
There's a brand I like that's a little more affordable. It's called Cyber Power. I know for a fact, I think they're in the United States and they have in the UK, and they sell little battery backup units. It's kind of like a car battery, maybe a little smaller, and it's got electrical outlets on it. And yeah, those are great because if you lose power, you can plug all that into the battery and it just stays up and running. So that's a good investment.
Is that like when you lose power, is that stay plugged into it as a backup so you don't have to like be there? Like what if you're, on a mountain or something and can't make it back for a couple of days? Is there any backup power solutions that you can plug into? Or
If you're on a mountain, surely you should be running a Pulse validator. Like
I'm just saying, if you went out for a night, I don't know.
This will work for like a day. If you're gone for a week, don't even worry about it. Just come back and turn your validator on after you get home from vacation, and it'll be fine. You'll mine back the coins you lost for a couple days. Not a big deal.
There you go. Elmo also recommends backup UPS. Google it. Most are manufactured by a company called APC.
Yes, APC is the premium expensive brand.
Everybody chiming in with their
there's so
tech
many nerds
specs.
in your chat, Cabana. Like, come on, man. I thought this was meant to be comedy. These guys are like absolutely nerds, mate.
Somebody's got
just-
to build the PulseChain, right?
We just had a rock hard Dex presentation, so we had plenty of comedy earlier, man. So
True.
we're good.
All right, fair enough. I don't mean to take offense. Still sacrifice guys just because I'm not a nerd. It doesn't matter. Like...
Somebody's asking about radiation affecting equipment. Is that a legit question, or is that?
Well, I mean, it's going to take a major solar flare to like knock out your equipment, and like you turn off the Wi-Fi, so it's not emitting radiation. So yeah, there's no radiation in Validator.
Is that one of those imaginary horrible situations?
I think so. Yeah.
Probably never gonna happen to you. Probably, like
Yeah.
one of those types of situations. Yeah.
Hey, just turn off the Wi-Fi. You'll be fine.
All right. So I think we got everything taken care of on the question front. Yes, I do see a couple of Pulse price questions. I have them saved. Don't worry. We'll end with that. We try to get to everything and then leave some of that fun stuff for the end. did want to talk a bit about this because the Shanghai update, which is where I am, obviously, is it's good, right? Like withdrawals they've been activated, right? So like this is dare I say, imaginary hand quotes it, Dave?
I can't think of anything else left on the list. That's it. I personally got the withdrawals automatically from my validator. It sent all the pulse right to my wallet. It's working. We are, as far as I can tell, just as functional as Ethereum.
So that was just 3 hours ago, exactly. So, yeah. So place your bets as to when the PulseChain will launch.
Can I ruin everyone's day?
Yes, please. That's what you're here to do.
Late this year, mate. Late this year. I'm just throwing it out there. It's the safest bet. I'm telling you. Like, I wish it was next week, but I'm just saying late this year. Late this year.
Why do you say that? Is it just a number you've?
It's just because like every time we think we're close, we get pushed back. It's just purely from emotional reasons.
So it's a coping mechanism.
Yes.
Okay.
If I say it's a long time away, then I'll feel better when it doesn't arrive next week.
Yeah, I got the 1,000-yard stare and shit. I just sit here in my chair and like, when's PulseChain? Yeah, so it's been totally. We were playing this game 2 years
the bastard
ago.
does
When's
have
it coming
hair,
out,
by the
guys?
way.
Like,
I'm not bold. Like a few people have asked me, "Are you bold under that thing?" No, I'm not. Not yet, anyway. Yeah, man. I think late this year. Like, look, I think Richard still thinks that there's going to be a dip on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't know if I agree with that. I think the bear market's over. Like, we might have a dip, but I don't think it goes all the way to the bottom again. And I think that Richard, in an ideal world, is trying to time this at the bottom of the market. And I know that's controversial to say, but I think he's trying to time the bottom of the market, and I think he missed it.
I agree with that, and I know that's controversial, and I'm not going to get into it with anybody else. I'm entitled to my opinion, and I'm entitled to be wrong, and I'm entitled to be kind of right. And dare I say, and I think I mentioned this on a Twitter space with Buck, I guess a few days ago. What if he's, trying to time the local bottom if he missed the bottom? And
he definitely missed the bottom, in my opinion, bro. Like the bottom was in. It was in. It was just a few grand higher than he thought it was on Bitcoin. He wasn't far off. He was very close, but it was just not quite.
If we break that 31K, then it looks like we're, there's another air pocket up. So
we're off to the races, man. We're off to the races.
I think, he's pretty much. I think we get it within like a week to max.
We certainly had we certainly had wicks down to the level that he was talking about, but it didn't considerably go down there. So like he said between like 11 and 15K, I think, on one stream, and it definitely hit 15K on some exchanges. So yeah. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're finally close. I think from all indications and like, chats that I've read, like he wants to launch. He wanted to launch long ago, and a bunch of different stuff happened, and it is what it is. Had to change course, but we're at the finish line, in my opinion. I mean, there's nothing to be done. I mean, we're getting Brett or Brett, developer on Twitter.
He's a cool guy. He is, man. I like how he goes.
Brett's a
on,
badass, man.
He's been trolling.
He's a legendary troller.
Yeah, he's been trolling him like, go on, break my network, bro. Do it. I love that shit. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was outstanding. So Easy does it, and he calls out the wallet, and then you're about to run out of pulse. You might want to refill. Thanks for the burn and trying to break PulseChain. Hello. And he's like, yeah, I told you to be careful. Now you need to top it off if you want your remaining transactions to go through. Otherwise, they'll just time out. Hey. So good stuff.
What
awesome.
a fucking Chad, mate. Chad.
The validators,
cool as fuck. I really like him. He's awesome.
A-Dub. Nobody who watched this stream felt compelled to buy Hex as the primary way of gaining PLS. Fail ads. Well, I don't know about the primary gain or way of gaining PLS, but I believe I've said this on the spaces. I have been buying Hex under 6 cents, and I will look forward to getting even more cheap coins if that's the case. But at some point, I mean, this Mainnet's going to launch, and I think it's just, you know, it's not going to be a slap in the face to wake people up. I think it's going to be like an earthquake. You had some thoughts on that, Buck. Where do you think we are now? Because I think we're kind of in the same ballpark that, you know, I think people have just been trained to be disappointed and, you know, not really expecting a mainnet. What happens if we do get a mainnet?
Yeah. Well, I'll respond first to that guy. He says we failed. I'm leverage buying Hex literally right now on fiat.io. So,
oh boy,
you know, just in small increments. Yes. Unfortunately, the training wheels are still on.
Yeah.
But when those training wheels come off, you'll actually be able to see what happens when people with real firepower have the ability to use leverage when they think something is bullish. To your question, Cabana, I think Richard recently has undertaken a change in his mindset where he's actually in a hurry for the first time. I don't think he was in a
for the first time, you know.
No. I think he was reasonably patient and not in a rush. I mean this dead seriously. You know, when he was initially working on PulseChain, you know, when he had to kind of take a step back and kind of go through the process to switch to V3. I don't think he was in a rush at that stage. I think he realized that we were going into a bear market at that point, and there was really no reason to rush, right? I think that just all the information that I'm getting, and I get a whole bunch of kind of, you know, random rumors and circumstantial evidence here or there, and I see things in different secret chats that I'm in, kind of just points to me that something's shifted, and Richard now actually really wants to get this thing out, and he may, in my opinion, he's got two routes. He can do the super safe route, which is like you test this for 6 months, right, and you just test the hell out of it, or you kind of do a more cowboy launch and just get it out there. And I think if you'd asked me a year ago, I would say he's going to do the super safe version where he tests it for 6 months. I now think actually he might just go for it. And yeah, you might actually see some sort of stealth launch. And that's sort of my expectation, right? So he could do the launch in two ways. He could do a big media marketing extravaganza, you know, try and build up as much hype as possible, or he could just sneak it out there one day and catch you all off guard.
Are you still bullish on him doing another sacrifice for the wallet? Because I remember at one point we spoke, and you were like, "I wish he would do another sacrifice for the wallet."
I do wish he would do another sacrifice for anything. I don't care what it is. But I have my own. I have my own reason for that. But it's nothing to do with the product. I'm a big fan of Richard doing as many sacrifices as he can. But yeah, I don't think he's going to want to. I don't think he's going to want to do this wallet thing. I think he's probably feeling a bit of dev fatigue, you know. And I can empathize with this. You know, I'm not the tactical guy. I'm literally just an idiot that talks to people. But like, it's a lot of work getting these things right. And you know, I'm sure he's got enough on his plate just with making PulseChain working well functionally, things like that. So I can't imagine he's got too much appetite to go build something like a MetaMask competitor, which I'm told is incredibly hard. Like it's got to be absolutely perfect.
I've spoke to some devs about this, and they're like, "Yo, doing a MetaMask is like ridiculously hard, man.
Yeah.
Like stupidly hard. You know, it's not as simple as just forking something, right?
And it's got to be perfect, right? Because people have to trust it. And then, And then I imagine you probably have to like then be trusted by everybody and all this stuff to get your thing, accepted on websites and things like that. So yeah, I would encourage Richard to like do something else, frankly, in my opinion. I think there's more interesting things he could do that are probably easier. That would probably get him more money.
Launch a meme coin, mate.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, Hex is a meme coin.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. It is a meme coin in a sense because it's different from the narrative, right? The narrative is Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like,
Hex and Bitcoin and Litecoin are all meme coins too. They're not cartoon meme coins, but they stand for something else.
This is the thing, bro. Like everything in crypto is literally a meme coin, but people just don't get that. Like,
no, not everything is a meme coin.
I don't know, man. I feel like maybe not like Aave. So the thing you're forking, okay, that's probably not a meme coin because that's actually like a serious financial product.
Correct.
It's built upon the back of essentially meme coins. I don't think Ethereum is a meme coin. Okay, but like basically everything built on top of Ethereum mostly is a meme coin. It's just,
I mean, for people in the first world, right? It's all a nice, grateful speculation game, right? But people in the third world, this shit is priceless, man. Like, when your government turns tyrannical, or they come and steal your dollars out of your room while you sleep. Crypto, where you can't do that, right? Because you own your keys, and as long as you have your seabirds memorized, the government can't raid your house at night and steal all your money, right? Or they can't inflate your currency to shit to pay off their debts, right? That's where crypto is absolutely priceless and worth everything. Okay, but for us in the first world, we really don't have to worry about that. So we love speculating with this shit and giving it these insane valuations. So in that aspect, yes, it's all meme coins, but when it gets down to brass tacks, this shit's priceless, bro.
You're right, but at the same time, it's like, well, even in the first world, So here's another slightly controversial opinion. I think crypto has one more big cycle in it. One more, because the United States government, the UK government, probably the Australian, all the Western society governments are going to crack down on this shit so hard, it's literally impossible after that point. So I think we got one more big cycle to make it. And then after that, it's done. Like, it's CBDCs all the way. That's it. No more making it's stocks and shares again. That's it, boys. Like, that's my opinion. And I'm a noob, but like, I'm just saying, like,
what's that saying? The tighter your grip gets, the more it slips through your fingers.
More star systems will slip out of your fingers.
There you go.
Princess Leia. Something like that. Anyway, Buck, a take on that controversial opinion from Hexy Bastard there?
Yeah, I disagree.
That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Why do you disagree?
Because statements like that are always wrong. There's always you don't like there's no Hegelian dialectic to investing where you reach the end of history, right? There's always going to be another bull market and another bear market, right? Like, now, are you going to have like massive big ones, or maybe not, right? They might get more mature, right? But just look at tech as an analog. The internet going back to like 95. We've had the 2001 bull market. We had a wreck following that, and then markets recovered, and then we had the 2008. We've had multiple cycles, and tech keeps progressing each time, and each time you get a big step change as well. That creates more of a feeding frenzy. Crypto is still absolutely fucking terrible. Like, let's be honest. Ethereum is really hard to use. I'd say,
it is, man. It's tough. Like, as a newbie coming in, like,
probably 1 out of 4 of my transactions with my MetaMask just doesn't fucking connect to my hardware wallet properly. It's just really fucking hard to use. And I've been doing it for 10 years now, right? And I spend a lot of time in this. Like most people, they bought a little bit of crypto, but it's sitting on a CEX somewhere, right? So there's still a lot of improvement to come, right? We're still in this position where, before you were born, Hexy, guys like Cabana and I,
he was just a little bastard.
I was just a wee bastard.
I think before you were born, guys like Cabana and I, like we used to have to look at magazines of naked women. And then we had this great innovation in the mid 90s where we had the internet, and you could, in about 30 seconds, download one photo of a naked woman, right? And it would just slowly creep down, right? That was what the internet
porno mags back in my day, mate. And
exactly. Now, then you basically
not
went
as young as you think, mate.
full on streaming, of high definition video to like live streaming, and now like literally, your favorite celebrity is now there. Like that's the innovation in pornography, over the last 25 years, right? You're going to have something similar like that happen in crypto. And that's why
someone just said halal bastards,
but that's why there's going to be many more cycles. It's
you're probably right, but it's like I don't think it'll be the same. So like it's the S-curve thing, right? So yeah, you will get cycles, but they're just not going to be as big.
No, you're wrong, because here's why. So it's like tech has been around for a long time, right? We've had the internet for a long time, but like literally people are creating things all the time that are creating insane amounts of value. We had this just a couple months ago with ChatGPT. Right, it's a perfect example.
Yeah, but I feel like that's kind of what I mean, though, is that it's not like going to be directly what we're used to, as in crypto. It's going to be something a bit different.
It's probably not going to be Bitcoin, but there's going to be other stuff that's going to come and is going to absolutely rip people's faces off.
No, I agree with that. That's kind of what I meant, though, is that like there's going to be different things that come along that are going to take the juice out of it. You know what I mean? Like it's like crypto will still do well, but it's like there's going to be something above crypto that comes along at some point that's going to be like it's just going to delete it. Like it's going to seem irrelevant after that point. It's still going to be related, but it's
you're wrong. You're wrong. Like if you look at tech, okay, lots of tech companies went bust over the last 25 years. Like we used to in the 90s, like have like things like Compaq. I don't even know what happened to them. They probably got acquired by somebody, right?
Did you buy that at Radio Shack?
I bought it at Radio Shack. I had a Tandy computer. I bought
it's a Tandy 1000.
back
I don't even know what that is, mate.
You're lucky you don't know what it is.
A Tandy computer.
But all these things go away, but the tech keeps coming, and there's more useful investments coming all of the time. And ultimately that accrues value to the winners, right? So, you see that like IBM has been around forever. It's not the company that is everybody's darling, but it's worth a lot more today than it was 30 years ago. And the same goes for Apple and Microsoft and things like that. And, 10 years ago, everybody was saying how overpriced Apple was, right? And it just, they keep coming up with ways to make way more money. It's insane.
$1 trillion market cap now, right?
Yeah. I bought Apple was the first stock I ever bought because I was a bit of a fanboy, and I bought it in 1998, I think, for like $6. It's had several stock splits, but I only bought like $100 of it, and then I went on spring break in uni and sold it.
How much is Apple worth now?
Well, it's like
hard
hard
to
do
adjusted. I don't know, but it's like 170.
It's hard to do a real.
Fuck off, Rocket. You couldn't.
Pull it up. So the price is currently 169, but it's had at least like 4 or 5 stock splits in that period. So.
Okay. So basically
it
would have been.
I'll tell you what the price would have been. It's $169 now. If in 1998, effectively it would have been about 23 cents. So 4 times 170. That's the return. But Apple was already a multi-billion-dollar market cap company at that stage, right?
Yep.
So like there's still massive gains coming in crypto. We just don't know exactly where and how, but most likely they're all going to go up. All the big names, they're all going to keep going up. But you'll have some things outperform others.
We'll have the Googles, Amazons, Apples of crypto, but a lot of other things will fade in time, and others will rise up.
Cabana, you wanted to go into PulseChain and PulseX price predictions earlier. Do you mind if we do that? Like, I'm really.
We do. I have some questions because I don't know how much longer we got Buck for, so I just at least wanted to ask this one while he was here, and to all of you, of course. But Zohan, do you guys think there will be no mainnet pump in Hex now that RH said no more warnings? A lot of eHex gonna dump after launch. So I guess two parts there. Is there going to be a pump, I guess, when people see things spinning up on the PulseChain side? And, perhaps RH has not tweeted anything yet. And will eHex dump? I guess, I'll ask you, Buck, first. I don't know how much time you got left, but while you're here.
I don't think I'm in a rush. I think Dylan is the one that has to go somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
we going to
just to finish on what we were talking about before, Hexy. The other thing is the government side of this. So the government basically is a bunch of baby boomers, but in 5 years, it's going to be a bunch of millennials. So people my age, right? Because the baby boomers are all basically in their 70s now. And people, in your generation, Zoomers, and basically you guys are asset poor, but you've been buying crypto. So I think you're going to actually see a real shift in the public perception. And I actually think what's happening with the government right now is they're just they finally realize they can't dismiss crypto, and they're trying to figure out a way to properly put gates around it to make it, palatable. So I actually think that's very bullish for crypto. Once the US does that, it'll set the standard for the rest of the world. It'll actually be very good for us. Now, to this guy's question on the eHex thing, I think eHex has already dumped. That's my thinking.
All right.
So I asked Richard this question, not a similar question, directly to his face when I had dinner with him like a year and a half ago. And, he's like, "Oh, are you going to dump eHex? Is that your plan?" And that wasn't really my question, but I think Richard expects this. And I think the kind of people that are trying to do this cute, I'm going to sell, I'm going to sell all my eHex right at the snapshot. This is a very overly simplistic idea, and it's very easy for somebody much smarter than you who holds all the cards to game this in a way that would absolutely fuck you. So I would say be very careful. There's a thing in sports called a head fake. If I were Richard, I'd throw a head fake here just to fuck guys over that are trying to do that.
I would agree with me. That would be the most bullish thing that he could do for Hex right now, is like kind of pretend it's coming right now, let everyone dump,
and then wait 6 months like Hexy wants.
And then wait a little while.
David's like, no, please, no.
Do you guys not feel like he might have already done that, though?
We've had so many shakeouts. I mean,
that might be what's happening right now. I mean, like, I shouldn't say this because I'm going to get in trouble for it, but like what I would do if I were Richard is I would basically start to push the price down, let all you guys think the snapshot has happened, let you all fucking emergency end stake and try to dump and be smart asses, and then I'd have the snapshot just after the bottom when you guys have all sold.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
And he does monitor price.
To do, like, for sure. Like that.
Yeah. I would try to get as many of you guys an emergency end stake as possible, thinking, okay, the snapshot's over. Let me just soak it all up.
Well, I feel like Richard, with this whole like outrage marketing bullshit that he did last year. I feel like that was him trying to get everyone to end stake and just get out, right? And it definitely worked with a few people. I know personally a few people who emergency end staked fucking everything because of the way that Richard was acting and being. It's good. It's better for Hex. It means Hex has a nicer rise up on the next run when it does eventually run again. So it's very smart if that's what he was doing, like the whole 4D chess shit, right? But like whether he was doing that or not, I don't know. Like I it's hard to say, man. But like that whole outrage marketing thing, it became almost embarrassing to be like, oh, I like Hex. I'm a Hexagon, right? Because when Richard's doing all this and the coin's down 95%, it's a bit embarrassing, right? To be like, oh yeah, I support this thing. And he's there doing Gucci and fucking Louis Vuitton and all that shit. And you're like, bro, I'm down 95% on my bags. Like, it's a difficult one, but a lot of people sold that bottom. There was a lot of guys that dumped it at fucking zero value, basically, compared to what they could have had. So actually, if that's what he was doing, that was fucking intelligent as hell, mate. Like, that was really smart. But it's just, I don't know.
That could have been the shakeout. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
the bottom of it.
I feel like it was, man. I feel like it was. That was him, especially when there was a point where Hex was down 95%, and he's there eating caviar and doing this, that, and the other, and you're like, bro, like what? To the outside, those guys are just like, oh, this guy's made a lot of money, but to the inside, we're like, mate, I'm so poor right now. Like I was rich, but now I'm poor. I need to sell before this even goes down further, right? And then a lot of guys did, and here we are. Now it's going up again. So
you weren't in Hex at the beginning, right? So
no.
So I think the rest of us probably were, but for the audience and for yourself, Richard was always a kind of free speech advocate type of guy. With the telegrams were very loose. You could say pretty much whatever you wanted to him. Yeah, we had nudity and really inappropriate memes and all that stuff, and the price dumped like 98%, and a different Richard appeared out of nowhere. One who was like suddenly not so nice, quite grumpy. He banned like half the TG. Acted like everybody was saying, oh, it's a scam or it's a rug pull. Richard wasn't trying to comfort us at all in that period. Quite the opposite. And the Hex price went down to 1 Satoshi on Bidesk, and that's when I bought because I thought it was
you lucky bastard.
You enjoy chaos.
Not a lucky bastard. I just thought this doesn't make sense to me. Richard set this thing up to dump, warned us it would dump, and it did dump, and then he acts like a psycho for about 30 days, and then magically the price starts to go up dramatically, right? Starting in January 2020. And then a new Richard comes back. The old Richard comes back, who's suddenly much more optimistic and salesy, right? Now we've been in a situation since the bull market ended where that Richard that's very salesy and bullish and happy to go talk to everybody, he's disappeared, right? Now, either Richard's had a change in his personality or that's deliberate, right? So I think at some stage...
Deliberate.
Deliberate, yeah. I'm with Dave on this. So I think at some stage you're going to see that come back, right? I thought we'd actually have seen it by now, but I think the fact that we haven't tells me that there is a deliberate campaign to sandbag Hex until probably the snapshot. That's my guess, or at least until at some point when he wants to go back, because he could have come out and basically bragged about the 4x that we got from the bottom in January, and he hasn't, right? So I think that's deliberate, and I think we'll see him come back at some point, guns blazing, wanting to be on every YouTube channel and being the guy that I know he is, which is somebody that's aggressive and salesy and loves being out in front of people, like really enjoys that. right? That's definitely his personality. Big people person.
And really, that would be the, I guess, icing on the launch cake, if you will, because we have the highest of stakes, which could potentially come out right after a Pulse launch. So we have that going. So that's just spread all over, streaming services or whatever. We got the launch in the crypto community. It'll be, all the buzz. And then, what you were saying, Buck, there is if you have like the last part, the founder doing the media tour, talking to BitBoy, talking to Ivan, that's just, that's it, man. That's, what more could you want out of a launch? And we'll see where it goes from there. Questions. Yeah. We have a few that are saved here. Got to Zohan's. Let's see. Feeder from Skagos. Question for the panel. PulseX is currently a fork of Uniswap V2. Do you think we will see PulseX be upgraded to a fork of V3 before we launch?
I don't know. I don't think so. Probably not before launch. Maybe they'll integrate the Uni V3 technology later, would be my guess. That's a great question. I don't know.
I seriously doubt they're going to do that. Just from like the decks that I'm doing at the moment, no, probably not. Maybe after launch for sure, but yeah, I don't know.
Adi, the highest of stakes movie first. I think we get PulseChain launch first, because then you have a place to go after watching the highest of stakes. Ideally, my opinion. We chatted about this last happy hour. Opinions on that while we get to other questions here?
That would be kind of a smart play, right?
That would be the optimum play, definitely.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm all about optimizing everything. So there you go. Bridging question. Can I bridge my eHex? I have no idea. Mistype. When launched. Thank you. Autocorrect. And will the eHex have the same monetary value as pHex in the future? I mean, don't know about the value, but
I'll take that. The question, the answer is it could potentially, but we don't know.
Right.
And I asked Richard this question directly, if he thought that the OA might pair them together, so thick that they're basically locked tidally, and he completely dodged the question. But I don't think that's going to happen because that creates a bigger liability to price, right? So I imagine one will trade independently from the other, most likely. I don't know who Sami is.
He's our friend.
Okay.
Sami's our best friend, mate. He's the biggest
Twitter.
PP show going, mate. I fucking love that guy.
Your friend Sami on Twitter.
He's my best friend. I'm telling you.
Comes on. He's like, "Hello, you beautiful, delicious chocolate cupcake.
Where's them flappy slippers?
Where's them flabby slippers?
Keep your back straight." I fucking love that guy. You need to get him on here, Cabana.
I've tried. He's not ready to stream yet. I think a lot of other shows have asked him as well. I think he's game for it at some point, but I think he wants to.
Yeah, he's gonna come on mine at some point. I'm sure you'll be able to get him on here. Like he's a legend, mate. I fucking love that guy.
Yeah,
he's great.
Aussie, can we talk about Alex potentially forking Rocket Pool with ICOSA as insurance? We spoke a little bit on it earlier. I mean, it is quite the undertaking, as Alex already said. He's got to fork out a lot of the, or not fork, strip out a lot of the DAO. That's not DeFi in his words. But any thoughts on that one, David?
I hope for the best. That would be really cool. That would be awesome. There's other protocols too. So, Rocket Pool's not our only choice in the future. So we'll see what happens.
I like stuff that ICOSA is a part of. That would be
Hexy, maybe after you do your deck sacrifice, you can do a sacrifice for like a Lido fork.
What the fuck's Lido, bro? I don't even know what it
Lido.
is.
That's the number one. It's quasi-centralized in my opinion, but it's a decentralized staking platform for Ethereum.
Okay.
You put your ETH in, and then you get like a wrapped staked. I think it's ST ETH. You get staked ETH in return.
STD? What?
Or
STD.
Ethereum.
It sounds like a rock hard Dex.
That could be your version.
STD. Hey, actually, there's something I dropped out earlier. I forgot to mention it. We've got our own AI bot for 9inch, and it's called ST. Oh wait, what's it called? Oh, STGBT. Oh, I can't remember now.
STD-BT, something like that.
Yes, something like that. I can't even remember, man. I'm fucking my brain's frazzled. I drank too much. But yeah, we've got our own version of Chat GBT, Chat STD. That's what it's called. Chat
STD.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
Yeah, that's good. That's way better than what I was saying. So yeah.
No, maybe a good idea still.
9inch will do great. There, right, there's your $5 worth. Good job.
You got 5 Swiss francs from Alf. That's pretty cool.
Ah! All right.
To be fair, our GitHub is really amazing. Like anyone who has questions about it, just go and read the GitHub because it is fucking quality. Like those guys have written everything down.
One more for you, bastard. Can you talk more about earning yield on liquid hex on your rock hard Dex?
So actually for that, so there's a few options. So you can either provide liquidity and then earn yield on the farms. We might have a single-sided pool for Hex, but essentially it's not like fully liquid, but like you can go in and you can provide liquidity or do something, and then you earn the BBC token based upon that. But the chances are though is that the yield might well be better doing that than it would be for even staking the Hex. That's kind of what our aim is. So actually, I think people who own the 9inch token, the DAO token, are going to be voting Hex up a lot to make sure that the Hex yield is really good. So it basically means for those guys who aren't really keen on staking their Hex for like a long time, because let's be realistic, if you want to get 40% APY, not even 40%, if you want to get like 36% APY, you got to lock up for 10 years. Who wants to lock up for 10 years? No one really, let's be honest. So
genuine Hexicans, bro.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
5.555, baby.
Yeah, okay, cool. But like, regular guys that don't want to lock up for 10 years, they might want to earn more than, 5%, 10% yield. So they might well get that with BBC. But who knows? It's all a question of how many people use it and how much it gets voted up on the DAO token, the 9inch token.
So I just wanted to come back to that thing about Alex and Rocket Pool. I think those staked pulse things could be really cool. I don't know what the yield's going to be, but let's say it's 2% or something like that on top of the kind of capital performance of Pulse itself. That you can basically, if you have a decent Pulse bag and Pulse goes up at like, let's say 10% on average over the next 5-10 years, right? You can basically live off of that pretty easily. And then when you add that, something like that to the Fiat protocol or any other kind of similar protocol, or even like a liquid loans type thing, you can borrow against that. So if your borrowing cost for stablecoins is like 2% or less, on fiat.io, you can basically fund yourself, for the rest of your life, just with, modest gains in Pulse over time, right? You can just take out your, $100,000 a year or whatever. And that 2% increase from the yield you're getting, being a validator will basically pay off the cost of your debt. As long as Pulse price goes up over time, you win.
Boom. There we go. Lots of questions there still pouring in, so I'm trying to keep up. Yeah, Eagle AI. Glad Jalen Hurts and the Eagles helped you out. Yes, fantasy championship all the way, man. Thank you, Jalen Hurts. All right, let's get this out there. What is David Feder's pulse price prediction? What do you think an 8K USD SAC can do in the next bull? Thank you guys. 100. Well, I mean, like his price prediction would be enough because whatever you SAC would be, the price prediction or the worth would be based upon that. But we were talking about a lot of this last week. I guess first question, I mean, I will put out there, and this was a fun discussion last week. Do we drop below the SAC rate? I say no.
Fuck yes. Fuck yes.
I know you say yes.
Absolutely.
I'm going to say no.
Absolutely, mate. Way below. Way below.
Way below.
I think 50% below on PulseChain and 90% below on PulseX. That's what I'm saying.
Interesting.
50% happened with every single new blockchain that ever came out. Like, point me a blockchain that didn't go down 50% that had VCs. None. It's going to go down 50%, like, for sure.
I thought Ethereum itself never reached its own SAC price.
I'm sure it did, didn't it? It went down 50% anyway from launch price.
I think it approached its SAC price, but I don't think it ever touched. I think it was like just above it, to be honest. But like,
it went up and then came back down, but I don't think it.
Yeah, it approached it, but it never dipped below the original SAC price.
Any of the others though, like, okay.
Well, there's also
Ethereum was the first.
There's also another dynamic here too, is that you have PulseX launching alongside of it, and the question was PulseChain. So you have a lot of people who missed out on PulseChain that will probably be putting PulseX funds back into PulseChain. So I would think maybe PulseX has the more immediate risk, even though I love the tokenomics of it. And that could support the PulseChain price. I mean, I know my head hurts reading all of these tweets, and I try not to read a lot of them, but it's just like, when Pulse, and then like picture of like a mansion or something. I want to, I can't wait to not work anymore. And it's just like, crypto is not like
a lot of people hoping to become a
if you have that many people saying that, like,
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, there's so many people who got into
but chances are those are also small bagged people as well. So you have whales in the system that could likely pounce on any major dip,
and they already have mansions.
Yes.
Yes.
That's it. Well, like the thing is just I know a few people in real life that I've met at these like Hex meetups, and we're all good friends and everything like that. And some of these guys went in so heavy to the PulseChain sacrifice, and they just wish that they had their money back right now. So that I think there is going to be a lot of downward sell pressure even on PulseChain when it comes out, especially if it goes up a bit. It's probably right. If you look at the poor pleb chart, okay, this is a less extreme example of it, and probably it's more volatile. But
very less extreme example, but
much less extreme. but you look at that chart, right? It mooned for like a day, and then it went down for 6 months straight, and now it's back up at the level that it was when it started, right? So, that's probably a good indicator about what's going to happen with PulseChain. Like, honestly, I'm putting my money on that, and I think that PulseChain goes down like 50%. When it goes down 50% from SAC rate, as in like basic SAC rate, not like the multipliers, but when it goes, I don't think it will go below the multipliers, like the 2.5x, the 2.2x, or whatever. I don't think it goes down below that. So then you're talking a 60% dip from basic SAC rate. I don't think it goes down below that, but I do think you do see a 50% dip on PulseChain from SAC price. PulseX is wrecked. Like, PulseX going down 90%, I think, from SAC rate. And I will buy that. And I will also
I'd buy it too, but I don't think we're getting there.
I think we're getting there. Yo, Cabana, $100 right now.
You don't have $100. You need to put $100 in the PulseChain.
I got $100 for you right now, bro. Shake my hand. Shake my hand.
Yeah, never go all in, Hexy. Never go all in. $100. That's all.
We did 1.4 million on SAC.
About $10.
No. But seriously, like I think PulseChain 50 to 60% down. I think PulseX 85 to 95% down from SAC rate, base SAC rate 100,000 to 1. I think it goes down that much, or is it 10,000 to 1? No, 10,000 to 1. Sorry, but yeah, I think it goes down 50 to 60% on PulseChain, 85 to 90% on PulseX. That's my prediction.
Well, there's a lot of interesting predictions, and hopefully we'll know in a week or two. Yeah. Any other takes on that versus the controversial Hexy bastards.
I don't know if it's that controversial, man. That just seems logical to me. But like, whatever, like,
I don't think we're going that low. No
90% seems
$100, sir.
Sure, I'll take that. $100,
$100, yeah,
virtually
absolutely.
shake.
Yes,
there you
absolutely.
Go. Build a bridge.
$100. Yeah, I'll take that
shake.
bet. Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah, neither Pulse or PulseX will go below their original sack prices, in my opinion.
Really? Oh my god, that's 100%. The easiest.
Is that $200 then?
No, whatever. Yeah,
$200, sir. So
come to happy hour. Prepare to ball.
Sure, one each. Okay,
let's go.
Yeah, one each. You got to deal.
You're talking the 10,000 to 1 ratio. You don't think either of them will go below that?
No way.
We're gonna have you guys back hopefully in a few weeks, and we're gonna watch the
easy money. Let's go.
The transaction being verified.
Yeah,
to settle the bet.
It's not going to go below that rate. There's no way.
What if I win? All I want you to do is spend $200 buying PP and then burn it. That's all I want. I don't even want your money. Just buy it and burn it.
Well, sure. I mean, I'll do it on stream. Yeah, I'll buy PP on stream. We'll do whatever you want with it. Yeah, sure.
Cool. Sounds good. $200 of PP, buy and burn. Don't say this founder does not look after you guys. Corporate community.
So we had Motley chime in. Kraken ETH went down to 15 cents, kind of an edge case. Sounds like another coin for the Rock Hard Dex exchange. It did definitely go back down to initial price of 30 cents. So I think it depends upon the chain, because somebody else was saying ICO is 30 cents. It dipped to like 42 cents. I think that's what David was talking about.
So it depends what exchange you were on.
Yeah, never went below the ICO.
Close.
We never got these guys' price predictions. Come on, man. Tell me what you think, innit? Like, where's PulseChain and PulseX going price wise? Like, come on, man. I've just laid my heart on the line. I'm gonna get hate from every
He laid
angle
his net worth of $100 on the line.
I did a lot more for PulseX, I'll have you know, right? So, and that's the one I'm saying is going to go down 90%. So it's whatever, you know. But yeah, come on, guys. Dave, DFed, where you think it's going? You don't think either of them are going below sack rate, no?
So we might get close to sack rate, right? I think we're going to pull in Ethereum. I think it's going to start 5 or 10x higher right off the bat. Day one, you got 10x your money. And then it's going to go down and down and down. And the more it goes down, the more people get scared. And it's we're going to go right down to the sack
Can I
price.
give you a scenario right now? Just quickly,
forever.
yeah. So you think it's going to start 5x sack rate, yeah?
At
People
least.
were sacrificing Hex for PulseChain at 12 to 18 cents, somewhere in that region, yeah? If they get a 5x on that, you don't think they're going to sell it when Hex is sitting at 5 cents right now. So they're already up 3x. So if they get a 5x on that, that's fucking what? Like 15x from their sack rate. And they've been waiting 2 years. You don't think they're going to sell it?
They're going to sell some for sure. There will be some selling. It will go down. I do think both prices, like PulseX and Pulse, are going to go down at the beginning. Yes, but
I think Pulse sack price was like at least above a dime. Hex memory serves.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like
Yeah,
10, 14 cents, something like that.
Yeah, it was like between 12 and 20 cents, something like that for PulseChain, and then for PulseX it was much higher. It was like 30 cents.
30 and then crash. So,
yeah, it crashed hard because Rackham decided he didn't want anyone getting a better rate than him.
I'm so glad I sacked that freaking first second.
I'm so glad I went in on Motley and Legion's pool, mate, because those guys killed it. They got it in at 32 cents. Shout out Motley Investor, bro.
And Motley is shouting you out. Congrats, you guys. Probably negated bets. So
yeah.
All right, what's your bet, Motley? Motley's not afraid to throw around a wager.
I'll bet Motley $100 on something if you want. I'm just saying, like, straight up, like when you think if it starts 5x above the price and we're still sitting at 5 cents Hex, then you are talking like a 15x. That's a lot of money, especially if you've been waiting 2 years for it. 15x right now. That's a lot of money, man. Like, I'd sell that. I'm not being funny. If I sacked 100 grand,
a point here too is like, you know, you have like a varying sack rate as well. So
you do,
some
yeah,
people
that's
got,
true.
You know, better than others, especially.
So that actually means though that, like, say you're a regular guy, you got 15x. If you're a guy that got a 2x multiplier, you got a 30x. A 30x. Like, you telling me they ain't gonna sell that? Whatever.
They're gonna sell. They're gonna sell for sure.
Yeah, damn right. they're
Like
gonna
my
put it.
plan, if Pulse was to launch like a 10x, I would sell 10% of my bag just to get all the money I sacked back, and then I'm going to keep the other 90%. I wouldn't sell it all, you know, but I do. Yeah, somebody's going to take profit. That's for sure.
Motley says David is too bullish and Hexy is slightly too bearish.
I'll take that. Yeah, that's fair. Maybe I'm bearish because I want it to go down a lot so I can buy it.
And finishes with, it's a long game, boys. We got 2+ years ahead of us. Don't trade away your bags. Here.
That's right.
Here.
I'm not trading, bro. I'm just going to buy. That's it. I'm waiting for the dip and I'm going to buy the dip. That's all I'm going to do. Like, I'm not fucking around. I'll just, like, no trading, buy the dip.
I'm just validating. Just locking it all on a server anyway.
Oh, let's see.
What does Buck think about this? Like, what do you think price is going to do? Because you're like quite intelligent when it comes to like price calls and predictions and stuff. I've heard you talk a lot in the past, and like I really respect your opinion. I'm curious. Like, what do you think PulseX price is going to do?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing you want to do is think about when does it actually come. So if we can agree that it comes effectively in the near future, and so you just think about it. Where was crypto when we had the sack? What was it, June 2021?
Yeah.
Right. And PulseX was roughly what, December of that year? Right. So the price of Ethereum was pretty close to the top at that stage, I think.
So 2x roughly from there.
So it's down, you know, the market, Ethereum is basically down 50% from there. So logically speaking, you have to build in a discount for that. Right. Now you want to build in a premium for that in the sense that it was purely a theoretical thing at that stage. So if it's actually live, it's less risky and therefore worth more. Right. So I guess where do those two meet? You know, in my opinion, PulseX will be worth significantly less than Pulse. That because of the timing, right? But also because a DEX, if you look at all DEXs, the biggest market cap ones are worth significantly less than the native token, right? So I think that has to happen as well. You know, now PulseX can maybe be worth a lot, more, from a ratio perspective than any other DEX is to its native token. But the point is they both raised about the same amount of money. So I think that you should see PulseX trade relatively much lower than Pulse for that reason. Caveat there is there's somebody that has an astronomical amount of supply that can push these things wherever he wants relative to each other just to fuck with you. So just as I said earlier, be careful being smartasses, right? Because someone may want you to fucking panic and sell. And once he's achieved that, he can push it exactly the other direction and make you panic the other direction and sell that, right? So I guess that's sort of my warning to people about that. So to summarize it, if PulseChain comes soon, we're not on the bottom. So I think your prediction, Hexy, is too bearish for that. If we'd launched in, let's say, November to January, I think that probably would have been right. If we launch at a similar range in the market to where we are today, I'm thinking, guys like Rackham are probably slightly up, as Dave said. Most people are probably break even, and then the price drops, kind of after a few days, for probably about a month or two or three, right? I think PulseX guys are probably down, 50% would be my guess, and then that probably drops a bit as well. But it's going to be it's going to be very interesting because to me the coolest thing about what we're doing here with PulseChain is we're giving this all powerful OA the ability to sort of manage this aspect of things. So we don't know what their policy is going to be. There's going to be a new type of game theory to consider, and it's that value can be transferred between Hex and Pulse and PulseX, and also the PRC20s, pretty much at the whim of the OA. So I'm interested to see what that looks like. I don't know what that means, but
he might just do nothing. Like
he might just be laissez-faire. That's right. I don't know. Like that's actually hard. It's hard to know. But I'm a believer that, and I'll say that I'm probably a bit biased because I have a pretty decent Hex bag, as you guys are probably aware. But I think that value has to be transferred into Hex over time. Otherwise, it loses its raison d'etre, right? Yeah. And that's actually a useful thing, because one of the problems you have with Ethereum is that Ethereum's too expensive, right? So what if you had a store of value on the Ethereum network where over time, instead of people trying to hoard ETH, they go and buy this other thing, right? And in this analogy, that other thing is Hex on PulseChain, and obviously Pulse is ETH. So what if you had a network where it's cheap to transact, but there is this one item that is where most people agree that they're going to store their value, and that's going to be Hex. And I think that has to happen, and that can easily happen because of the OA, but also because of the rest of the users as well. So you'll have obviously PulseChain appreciating in value, but relatively speaking, I think Hex has to appreciate more for this reason, and we can force that outcome. So you'll have affordable to transact Pulse, but very expensive Hex. That's what I would like to see happen, at least. But I don't know what's going to happen. You could see a completely laissez-faire OA, but then why have the fucking OA? So
that's true.
If he's listening, I would encourage him to do something like that.
Yeah, send Hex, man. Like make Hex the biggest gainer out of everything, because then that's gonna look so good on the charts, right?
It doesn't have to be, Pulse and PulseX did badly. They're all going to go up together, right? But this idea.
But he could just lock the liquidity so that they all go up at the same rate. So
they will.
If everyone thinks PulseChain is going to go up 10,000 X, I don't see that happening. Maybe from the very bottom, like wherever the bottom is, maybe that happens. But if he can make, say if PulseChain goes up even 1,000 X, if he can make Hex go up 1,000 X as well, then happy days, man. Everyone is happy.
I'm not too worried about 10,000 X, because I think that that is impossible unless the US dollar goes Zimbabwe. So unless
but we're fudding if we say something like that with reason. But yeah,
look, man, I feel like 10,000 X is a meme, right? That's just something that just doesn't really happen. You're better off aiming for 100X. If you get 100X, that's still really fucking good.
I would just like to have a network that grows and is useful, right? I mean, what I'm excited about is the idea of we can take Ethereum, we can take all the cool stuff that's been built for Ethereum, but doesn't work on Ethereum because no one can afford to use it, right? Such as Aave, right? Such as all the Decentraland stuff and all these things, you add that with a very vibrant English-speaking upper middle class community. That's amazing, right? And you can have really, relative to ETH, you can have tremendous returns, right?
Yeah.
And so ETH will have a lot of value on it, but I don't think it can have the same return. So if ETH's doing a 4x, then we can maybe do a 20x, and that to me is an awesome outcome, right?
20x is great, man.
That's a fantastic outcome, and nobody should sneeze at that. And we can basically just have a very vibrant community, because one of the things, it's other people have created an L1, you have BSC and all these other things, but you don't have such a big, vibrant English speaking community of kind of average Americans and average English people, right? you get like a lot of guys that are rug pulling and things like that, right? On those other ones. So it's like, this is the best of both worlds. It's the affordability of BSC, but with basically an Ethereum quality community, right? Of relatively wealthy people, right? Who just want to, get slightly better returns. And we can onboard the hell out of it, right? There's just a lot of you guys are just very good at going out and talking to human beings. And, once you can advertise some good returns, I think it'll be very easy to get people interested.
I'm getting so much hate in the chat, I've noticed, because I only sacrificed $100 for PulseChain, sorry. You do realize I had no fucking money, right? Like, that's literally all I could afford. Why are you hating on me for giving an opinion? Like, fuck off, all of you cunts. Like, seriously. Like,
they're just angry because they didn't think of it first. They could have drawn dick pics, cartoons.
Bro, literally,
made $1 million too.
We made over $1 million drawing dicks on charts. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
That's just a bit of haterade on their part.
Haterade, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you know what? You know what's funny, right? We did 1.4 mil for Poor Pleb. That was a zero utility shitcoin. How much do you think 9-inch is going to do? Like, seriously, that thing is amazing. Like, if you're mad at me because I did 1.4 mil for Poor Pleb, go fuck yourself, because you're going to be even more mad when you see how much this motherfucker does. Anyway.
Much love. Much love.
Yeah, much love. It's all about love. Just the haters can go fuck themselves, man. Like, I was poor as fuck coming into this space, managed to actually do okay as a result of it. But like, don't hate on me because I only sacrificed $100 for PulseChain.
That's how a lot.
That's literally all I could afford at the time, bro. Like, nothing else.
Having said that, I do think if you are doing a sacrifice, and I've done too, like we in my opinion, we do have a moral obligation to serve the community and do useful things, and not just be completely useless degens.
Creating, no. I agree. That's not what we're doing.
This is my roundabout way of paying you a backhanded compliment, in that like you've done a kind of useless meme coin, but now you're making a DEX, which is which has a utility. I mean, it is the easiest thing to fork.
Definitely.
That you possibly could fork. My guys could fork that in a half an hour. So it's not. But at least you've tried to do something.
I wouldn't enjoy chatting to you if you didn't shit on me a little bit. Just generally, I
mean, like, tell me if I'm wrong about this, but like it is like literally you can get a Fiverr right now, and anybody can probably pay like $1,000 to somebody to get a DEX done. And I'm making a DEX as well, and I'm telling you, I literally paid a guy very little money to do it, and it's great. Yeah, so it's super easy. Anybody can create a DEX. But yeah, I think we do have obligations to kind of try to do things that are useful and build the community out. We shouldn't just cash grab and run.
Bro, exactly. No, I agree with you. Like, there's no cash grab and run shit going on here. Like, not for you. Do some chain analysis on the PP fucking sack address and see how much
I put all the sacks on Fatty for this reason. Was including my own. So if you go to Whale Watch, you'll see you'll see Poor Pleb, you'll see Mintra, you'll see us. Because I want people to think about like, okay, if you take something, what are you going to actually bring to the community? What kind of actor are you? So
you need trustworthy people, man. Like, at the end of the day, I mean, if you go to that sack address for Poor Pleb and you do some chain analysis, you will see that we are good actors. Like, without a doubt, like we've done very, very, very nice upon our community. Like, we defended the price of Poor Pleb. Like, we have like, I say we, but that's not me. That's someone who controls a certain wallet. But like, someone linked to that SAC address has defended that price and made sure it didn't go any lower than it fucking did. Okay. And they've never sold a dime. So, you know,
Someone.
it's all about. No, they never sold a dime, mate. Like,
No, I was saying someone. Someone,
somewhere, somehow, never sold. Like bought it, but never sold it. So you know, you got look. It was my reputation on the line with this shit, and I don't really know what my reputation was worth, but it was worth enough for me to be like, look, I'm not gonna fuck over my people, right? If people invest in my shit, I want them to be looked after. And no one, and I repeat, no one who bought Poor Pleb or sacrificed for Poor Pleb is at a loss right now. Nobody, not a single fucking person. So that's all I'm saying.
All Briz has to say is the condom on the eggplant was where I knew it was a solid project to invest my hard-earned money.
He's been funning as well, so I'm glad we've converted him.
Yeah,
he was the only person I wanted to accept that this was a great project to invest in.
He's a sought-after endorser of shitcoinery. So yeah.
Someone said, I can't remember who it was, but someone said on Twitter something along the lines of the other day, when I bought Bitcoin in 2014, I never thought that like having an eggplant wrapped in a condom would be an investment opportunity, but here we are. Love it.
Oh boy. Oh,
hey, there's a market for everything, man.
Yes, there is.
Cheers.
Yes, there is. A couple questions for David here. What is your best guess to mainnet APR APY for a mainnet validator yearly? That's quite a guess. But
yeah, it's impossible to tell. Yeah. But if I had to pick a number, 10% for the first year.
There you go.
So I think I think a bunch of validators are going to join for that. So 10%. We'll see.
And what about long term?
Less than.
Obviously, but
yeah, it's going to trend to 2, and then 3 years from now, probably 1% or less. So I think the gravy train is going to leave the station in the first year.
Gotcha. So you need to get in early with that equipment, and because it basically depreciates to nothing.
Pretty much like driving the new car off the lot.
Yeah. Interesting.
David, how long would it take from making an actual snapshot fork and upload that data to the first mainnet validator and get that up and running? Mainnet needs to run before RH allows public access.
Yeah. So when mainnet comes out, there's going to be 4,096 validators already existing. Those are the original Genesis for Richard. Right, they have. That's the minimum. There has to be 4,096 at all times. So Richard's going to spawn those. Then we join after. It takes about 24 hours. You set up your server. Just watch the video I did earlier today. You're up and running in 30 minutes. You send in your 32 million pulse per wallet. Then it takes about 18 hours for that to get activated. So pretty much at the best, if you're there first day, you'll be mining on the second day, and that's about as good as it gets.
Boom. Is there a risk that 9inch takes usage from PulseX?
Yes.
Dexy bastard.
Yes.
So much risk. So much risk. So much risk.
Absolutely. Like
I think PulseX is going to be fine.
Yes. I think it'll be okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think PulseX is going to be absolutely fine, but you need the second biggest DEX on the chain. And
you're going to have a second and a third and a fourth and a fifth biggest DEX. And the reality is, I as much as I give you shit, I would rather it be somebody from the community owns those, or the community owns those second and third biggest DEXs than someone else who doesn't give a fuck about us.
Even Uniswap or someone like that, if they came along and they were like, oh, "Okay, we'll support PulseChain," and
that
would be death. Who wants that?
I want that. I'd be super happy with that. But that's not going to fucking happen.
I don't want that.
If Uniswap and Aave come to PulseChain, you guys will not care. You will be so happy, right? If it gets to that, all of my projects can go to zero. That's fine. Like but like that's not going to happen overnight if it ever happens. So that's why we have to go out and build all these things.
Absolutely. But just to answer that question, look, man, even if we only get 1% of PulseX, volume, I'm happy with that because the 9-inch token is going to pump like a motherfucker as a result of that. So yes.
Well, just look at this. Just look at it this way. You're going to probably raise like, low single digit millions for this, I'm guessing. And I'm giving mine away for free. PulseX raised $1 billion.
That's
right?
heavy.
And it is heavy. So like, I'm just telling people exactly what I think here. So don't hate me for saying that. But if you look at all the other L1s, the second and third biggest DEXs generally trade within a power of 10 of the largest one, right? So like forget our stuff, but let's just assume there's the second biggest DEX. It should probably trade within a power of 10 or at least a power of 100 of PulseX, right?
There you go.
So that's still something worth
tens
of millions of dollars.
Is literally tens of millions of dollars every month.
Or PulseX needs to come down a lot. Now I know this guy that said the PulseX is coming down 90%. So
this guy,
but yeah, so I think it's actually a good idea in a sense. I think the second and third biggest DEX, we'll see who's maybe you guys are bigger. I might have more liquidity than you though. I don't know.
Hey, look, mate, you would be a worthy competitor. I'm happy.
I'm looking forward to competing. Sort of.
It's not even a competition. It's
y'all
just
compare your deck sizes.
We're going to compare our
deck sizes. Yes.
But yeah, I reckon we're both going to do just fine because we're going to start from a pretty low base. So there's this low base effect that I think is pretty powerful there, and we'll see what happens. But I think the biggest thing you got to worry about is not pissing off Richard.
So you say that, but like I kind of want to piss him off a little bit. Like,
careful what you wish for, sir.
I don't know why, but I kind of want to a little bit. I just want to boot him into gear a little bit, Like,
did you see what happened to Pulse Bitcoin and the ASIC token after Richard got pissed off at that?
No,
that was the
really.
top. That was the literal top of that thing.
Yeah, but like, what did he dump it or something?
Oh no, he just took to Twitter and pointed out previous projects that were of similar variety and
but
kind of just. I'm just saying it's probably better to not, but you do you, man. I mean,
I don't think it's the same thing because like those guys were actually malicious. I'm not malicious. I enjoy this community. I want to be a part of it, but it's just like there's room for what I'm providing. So it's not like I'm trying to take away from what he already has. Whereas I think that PLSD and ASIC and Pulse Bitcoin, they literally wrote on their website that Richard Hart founded it. Like, for fuck's sake, bro. No, he didn't. But they literally wrote that on the website. Like, of course he's going to dislike them.
Can we bring up this comment? I like this comment from Ghostbusters at 9:43. I want to address this one. I like this one. Don't trust this buck guy. He wants to sell it soon early at 20x so you can miss out on big gains by 2025. All caps, don't trust this buck dude. He is wrong. Lol, you will miss out if you listen to Shady Buck. I think that's a very good disclaimer, everybody. You should listen to Ghostbusters here.
Yeah, I think you should listen to him as well. Yeah, he doesn't know what he's totally accurate.
There's something strange in this neighborhood.
Don't trust this buck guy. I like it.
No, to be in fairness, like what you've said is pretty damn on point, man. Like a 20x is good. Like anyone who says a 20x isn't room to be selling, if you make a 20x on anything, you should sell a bit of it. Like at least a bit of it. 5%. Get your money back. Get your money back. 5%, and then hold the rest. Whatever, but like sell a bit.
I love that idea.
Is good gains.
Yeah,
they are really, really good gains. risk
So,
off
so,
at
cryp-
that
so
point.
crypto likes to advertise these things that do 10,000 X's all the time, but it's when that happens, it's always from such a low base that somebody got a 10,000 X on some incredibly small amount of money.
One
that's-
guy,
like the wick
one
lower.
guy who bought the bottom.
Yeah,
Like,
you know, but it's so minuscule. And I'm literally in Hex. I'm one of these people. I bought Hex on Buydesk at 1 Satoshi, right? But like, I didn't buy, like a grown up amount of money on it. I didn't put 100 grand in at that rate. You know what I mean? You couldn't at that stage, right? It was like $100 here or there that you could put in. So nobody actually rich can even really invest in shit like that and ever get those kind of gains. It just doesn't work with large numbers, right? So the real people are actually
making billionaires out of like a couple of grand.
It just doesn't work. It doesn't work with grown up. Yeah. So when you see these sort of 10,000 X things on meme coins, it's artificial. It's not really real for actual people doing serious investment in that regard. You can definitely get like a 10x, out of those things, but you're not going to get like a 10,000x on $1 million. Like, it just doesn't happen.
God, no.
And people with real money to move around, that's the kind of investments they need to make, right? So a 20x for them is amazing. So if you're a guy like if you're a guy like Rackham, you get a 20x, you're super happy with that. That's a tremendous
If
outcome.
you put $1 million in, you get 20x. Are you really gonna scoff at $19 million profit?
No, that's exactly what you want. And if you get a couple of those in your career, you're doing amazingly. But yeah, there's just a lot of the whole meme coin thing. A lot of people just it's artificial and fake. And when you're a pleb, it works in a sense because you're basically buying a little lottery ticket with $5-10, and you might be able to get that kind of return for $5 or $10. But any grown up here that's not an efficient way for them to invest, right? They need to actually put real money to work. And I know this, even guys that shill meme coin scams for a living sacrifice from my project with grown up money. You know what I mean? Because they've got so much money that they actually they can't just put it in more meme coin scams. That they actually have to look for real serious projects, and they won't even go and advertise it to their little audience, but they'll invest in it themselves, right? It's an interesting thing, but a lot of people they fail to really understand what it's like to be a rich guy with crypto. Like some of these guys, they just have so much fucking money. Try and put yourself in the feet of shoes of Godwell, right? And
he can't even exit his ETH position, bro.
He can't exit anything. Yeah, no, he's just
even Ethereum. It's like he's got so much Ethereum. Like
all he can do is
diversify. He will take 90%.
All he can do is try and diversify. That's all he can do. And that's about it, right? Like if he starts selling his Hex will go to zero very quickly, right?
I love Godwell, right? I love him because he pumped Hex like a motherfucker. He supports the price. But at the same time, when I see that you're locking up, what was it, like 10 million Hex? No, it was more. It was like 100 million Hex for 15 years. Like, that shit just seems retarded to me. Like, you're never going to get that value out of it, ever. Even in 30 years, you're probably never going to get that value out of it.
I think that was more symbolic than anything because...
Yeah, it was.
What are you going to do with it? Like we were just saying, it's like you can't pull... that much out, and he's got plenty liquid anyway to fool with, so it's just like, why not? Why not show?
That's what I mean. It's asset? Like it seems weird that he would do that. That's why it makes me think that it's Richard.
But you're having a hard time. You're having a hard time imagining yourself in that guy's shoes. He's got more money than he knows what to do with, and he just wants diversification. He may be connected to the project. I don't know, but
he must be. He's got to be, man.
Possibly. Possibly.
There's no way.
But when you're that rich, though, you automatically get a much longer time horizon because you don't need this money tomorrow. So you're literally you literally want to just go enjoy your jet and your supermodel wife and your Ferrari. So like you don't want to have to waste a lot of time fucking around with meme coin of the week. You just want to buy a few things that are sound and go enjoy your life, right? And that's guys like that are what moves the market.
Yeah,
it's not the plebs.
I'm sorry, plebs. It's not you. It's not the plebs. Sorry, it's not you guys. Book has spoken.
Godwell would love fiat.
Yeah, he would.
For play. But yeah.
He might like 9-inch as well.
Godwell can spread plenty of love wherever he wants.
Yes, he can.
How much did he do for liquid loans?
I think he spread some of the liquid loans, actually, come to think of it.
Didn't he do like 10 million for liquid loans or something crazy?
He sacked for Mintra
too, right?
Yeah.
Mintra, yeah.
It's a mad thing as well. Godwell's a degen.
Yeah.
He is a degen. I've seen his portfolio. He's got some right shit coins. He's got some absolute shit coins. I was praying and hoping he would go in on PP because, if he goes in on PP, fuck me, that chart's going to go crazy. Because Godwell went in, oh my God, we have to buy. It's just going to be like that straight away. But, he didn't, sadly, didn't go in on it. But whatever.
More very important questions to go through as we've been at this for a bit. Phomophobic asks, does owning a lot of PulseX, and Hex make me better looking? I don't know, but I would say yes.
100%.
I would guess yes. Yeah,
I would say yes.
What else do we have? We have Buck. Do you think RH could dump his old BTC to get to his 11K and pray?
No, I don't think you can. That horse is bolted.
I think you already sold it, mate. You already sold it long ago. It's gone.
I think he's got some just as a hedge. Why?
I don't know, man.
Why not?
I think he sold all of it.
I mean,
when he did those streams. I'm sorry, but when he did those streams, the top is in and all that shit. I think that was him just be send it to Binance or wherever, dump. He just made that top. The Ethereum top, definitely. I don't know about Bitcoin, but the Ethereum top, he fucking made the top. I'm telling you right now. I swear down, I think he made the top. Think about how much Hex he got on the adoption amplifier, bro. If he'd have dumped all of that, there's no way the market can sustain that. It was $1 million ETH. $1 million ETH. Think about it. That's $4 billion at the top.
Yeah.
You think the market can sustain $4 billion of sell pressure? The fuck? I don't know, mate. Sorry. I'm waiting. I'm a bit drunk now. I'm definitely a bit drunk. I've drank.
Reminder that the Godwell bought the Unwise coin and Trayvon's toucan there.
There you go.
Degen and a half, mate. Let's see what else.
Why didn't you buy PP, you fucking knob? Come on, man. Buy PP.
Do you want him to sacrifice for 9-inch or what?
Yeah, send it.
Yeah, don't make fun and
I might have a better job making fun.
DFed, is there a maximum number for validators now?
No. I'm sure there's some insane technical limit, but Ethereum already has over 500,000. They've got 550,000 validators. So we can go up to at least 1 million. Totally.
Yes, I agree with Motley. Just because Godwell throws some shekels your way doesn't mean you have a good project.
Well, he didn't throw no shekels my way, so I don't care, innit?
Also doesn't mean you have a good project.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, he put in a lot to liquid loans and Mintra, and that just makes me, because even me as a little guy, I was I'll put a little bit in. Just a tiny. I didn't do Mintra, but I did liquid loans, tiny little bit liquid loans, just for a laugh. But Mintra, I was I don't know about Mintra, man. I don't care about NFTs, so is what it is.
What else here? Just a couple more. The documentary has been sold. Is that confirmed? Do we know that? But to whom? Netflix. Where's Big K at?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Big
where's
K.
Big K? Yeah.
I think he confirmed that last week.
I talked to him about a week ago, and he said that they have offers, but you know, they haven't you know, they're still working on it, like, you know, trying to find the best deal.
Yeah.
So that would be news. And I spoke to Alex a couple times. I asked him a couple times, like, what do you really think of the movie? And he told me, no, it's really good. And then he like a few days later, he's like, actually, I've been thinking about it. It's really good. So Alex is an optimistic guy, but you know, I think that's a good sign. We're not going to be embarrassed.
All I hope about that movie is that they show the scene where Richard is dancing in the club at the after party in the 741 event, where it was the 731, but they printed it wrong. 741 event. If they show the scene of him dancing in the club afterwards, I'm in the background, like jiving away.
I was there too, actually.
Yeah, you were, but I don't know who you were. I think you were the guy that got out of the fucking Rolls Royce. Like, but I'm not sure who you were. Like,
I wasn't anyone flashy, but I was there. That's funny. I was so tired. God.
Look for Sleepy Buck in the background of the Highest of Stakes documentary.
Yeah, super jet lagged.
See if you can find him. So yeah, I don't think it's been sold, but you know what'll close that deal in a hurry? PulseChain.
PulseChain, baby. Let's go.
If I were them, I would wait till PulseChain launches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be a smart.
You'll get more money from
the bids will go up.
Yeah, because right now it's like this thing is potentially controversial because of all the various FUD that we experience, which I won't go into. But once it's launched, it's got a whole life of its own. So yeah, if I were them, I would wait and get a better offer.
Yep. Come to the table that hour that PulseChain drops. Let's see anything else here. Everyone claimed their weight. Who has messed around with weight? Dave.
I haven't claimed mine yet.
Still waiting.
Okay. So you're going to do the last second.
I'm waiting till as close as I can get that one, man. Yeah, I want to play that one right till the end.
Nice work. Hexy.
I haven't claimed it yet.
You're waiting?
Dave, have you looked at the code to wait?
I have not done a deep dive on that, no. But
yeah, somebody was asking if it's okay. I haven't looked into it. The guy's been pretty polite and considerate and all that stuff.
We accepted weight on the poor pleb sack, but we have done nothing with it. It's still there. And I
take that back. I have looked at it way back when it came out, and last I recall, it was just a pretty much a plain ERC20. Like there was nothing fancy about the token.
Ooh, that's sexy.
So it was fine last I saw.
Cabana, zoom right out.
Hold on. But yeah, that's the weight chart.
And people are buying and selling and claiming, and it's been out for a couple months. So,
but that's
so it's not actually up that much in comparison. Yeah.
That's that low market cap effect, though. Like once again,
it's an inflation coin. Isn't it?
If I wanted to prove a point, I could double the price of that in like with like probably $100K buy, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. If that,
yeah, I don't even know what it would take, but yeah, it's like don't compare apples to apples. Like don't compare Hex to a 1 million market cap meme coin. Right?
That's the thing, right? I would never buy a coin that looks like that on the chart ever. Never. Not since I bought Hex at like 10 cents or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I would never do it again.
Yeah. They're just
you want to buy red candles, not green candles.
They're just not comparable. They're in different leagues. It's like comparing like featherweight to like Mike Tyson, right? They're different risks, different levels.
Yeah.
Any last remaining ones? Hex Sailing. Any thoughts on the ETH price at PulseChain launch? Will it dip? I don't think it'll care, but I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. Thoughts? Anyone?
Yeah. I don't expect any. Yeah, no correlation between Ethereum and PulseChain.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, agree.
I think they'll be correlated, but I don't think we're going to have any impact on ETH for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be the dream. If we ever
affects
start to
gold,
impact
so-
ETH price, we're going to be so happy that you're all going to get girlfriends. It's going to be great.
Just don't tell the wife.
That'll be wife-changing wealth for some of you.
Hexy can alter his Tinder profile and
I'm recently single, mate. I guess.
perhaps upgrade
sort
it. Any last things here? Got the weight one. Tigre, yes, thank you. I try to be, even though my video feed sucks, and that's why you get a frozen cabana when I go back to regular video mode. So apologies for that, but whatever. We've had like a very, very good show. All these shows are good, thanks to you guys and epic panelists we have on here. Mel Tony has 5.7 cent hex. I got 5.8 over here, man. So don't FUD.
Stop the FUD, bro.
Yeah, I guess we can end on this. Motley Investor, PulseChain probably launching in days. DAYS. Buckle up for when Richard goes full cowboy and just sends it.
Yo, Motley.
That's
you wanna
something
bet
to
me
end on.
Yo,
Go for
Motley, bet me $100 that PulseChain doesn't launch within May. I bet $100 right now. Shake
So
my hand, bro.
you're going to give him all of May.
The whole of May.
All right, Motley, put a handshake emoji
Motley!
in the chat.
There you go. There's a handshake. $100, mate. $100. Doesn't launch in May.
Hexy's going to be throwing out $100 bills like Mayweather at a strip club. There you go.
Basically, yeah. Deal. There you go. All right.
All right,
Expect
so
that payment in full.
you
And all I
owe.
want you to do is buy PP and burn it. That's all I want. I don't
So
want no
you're
money.
going to buy $300 worth of PP. Is that correct?
What were you talking about?
Did you bet DFed 200 or 100?
I bet DFed 100.
Okay, so $200 of PP.
$200 a PP. Yeah. I can't even remember what I bet DFed. I'll have to watch the replay. I'm fucked, mate. I've drank. You see how much whiskey's left in here?
Yeah.
That's why I've drank since I've been on stream. This bottle was full, mate.
What else can we
I'm
get
just-
him to bet?
I'm getting
All right,
smashed.
let's see.
Yeah, this isn't fair, guys. That was his last bag, man. His last $100 again. Let's not do this.
This last bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, he needs it, guys.
Yeah, I'm skint, bro. I can't afford it. Yo, I went on DBI early. I'm fine. I'm fine, bro.
Well, gents, we made it to about a 3-hour mark. We've gotten through everything that I've had on the list, plus all the chat's questions. So you guys have been amazing. Thanks for asking all the questions in chat. Thanks to all the panelists, including Dylan, who had to leave a little bit ago. Thanks to Buck and David and Hexy, man. Good to have you guys on stream. I always joke because I think the first and most recent time, maybe it was like last summer, I had you guys on stream, and then we concluded after like 2 or 3 hours on stream. And so I just leave the room open and come back, or go out to dinner. I don't know. Go out, listen to music.
Talking like 3
Come
hours
back
later.
hours
It's
later.
great.
It's like after midnight or something, and you guys are still talking in the green room. So it was one of my
Yeah, man. It was
funny
good. It was
green room
good.
memories there. But
That was back when I was drinking. So, yep.
yep.
You're not
It was like
drinking
the-
anymore, no.
No, I have not had a drop all year. I'm good. I'm clean now. Sober.
Congratulations, man.
Thank
Good
you.
for you, man.
Feels good.
Good for you. Yeah, for sure.
One thing before we chill ourselves, before we get out of here, is especially this comes, I guess, for talking fiat, eFiat. There are fake Telegram rooms, Twitter accounts.
These comments
Good.
are so joke. Everyone's.
Oh yeah, you're $100.
Because the $100.
Don't get fooled. Like, verify these rooms and accounts that you're dealing with, because there are so many people trying to piggyback, especially after something launches. So verify it. Look who the admins are and just do your DD on them, please, because there could potentially be a lot of money lost if you guys aren't careful out there. And there's a lot of predators like looking to, come off as the famous team, or dare I say a 9-inch member or 9-inch member, but you know what I mean? So anyway, just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, or validator tech support. Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist, mate. Yeah. But I'll never DM you. Never will Efiat, never will Fiat, never will Cabana. We will never DM you. Ever. Not in a million years.
If someone with my name DMs you and it is happy and excited to talk to you, you know it's not me.
Exactly.
The happy and excited part gave it away.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, hey, how can I help you? So, yeah, that's not that will never be me. That's why I put Hexy
proof of $100
because I don't want to talk to you
unless
you know who you are, and I do want to talk to you. That's right.
That's right.
Good shit.
Last stream, PP was born. This stream, Hexy Bastard loses $1 adult dollar.
What adult dollar?
What's an adult dollar? I mean,
100.
Yeah, come to think of it, PP was born on this show last summer. I do remember that.
Was. Yeah.
I was sitting poolside and I was about to get rained on, and then went in, and then all the memery and puns and whatever started, and it was probably one of the funniest things that.
Well, this is where I announced it, and it was actually with Efiat as well, and I just remember your reaction was just so good, and I was like, okay, I actually have thought of something amazing here, because you and Efiat were just laughing so much throughout my whole
I mean, the chat was
explanation. The chat was popping off, and everyone loved it, and I was just like, okay, yeah, definitely, we got something good here. So yeah.
All right, gents. Well, we're going to sign off. We have Hex moving towards 6 cents. We're at 5.81 cents right now. So the Cabana pump is back. It's alive. It's on. Buck Fiat, we can certainly find you at t.me/Hexistani. Wink, wink. But any other place you'd like to shill before we get out of here?
No, I think your audience knows how to find me. I guess I'll just say ePhiat will be ramping up the risk over time. We'll launch PHUX probably in the next month or two, whenever we feel like it. We're working on finishing Famous at the moment. It's gonna be a big year, so yeah, I'm excited to be back here chatting with you guys, and hope to be here again soon.
Heck yeah, man. You got Famous, Fux, Fiat, just a whole lineup. It's going to be outstanding. Can't wait. Hexy, you've shilled your stuff, but you have one last chance to do it right here at the end of the show, as we always do.
I just want to direct people to the Telegram for 9-inch right now, which is t.me/Dex9 with the number 9 inch. Dex 9-inch. That's it. Go there, ask questions, go to 9inch.io, use the testnet, test it out, see how it feels for you. Should be nice and thick. And enjoy. Enjoy, man. That's it. We're creating some amazing shit for people. If not, go to poorpleb.win and buy some PP. Make your PP bigger. That is it. Thank you, Cabana. You're a legend, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. DFed, you have some things to mention before we hop off the air?
Yes. Yep. Come on over to validatorstore.com if you need a little mini computer to be a validator. Check out my YouTube, David Feeder, and I'm on Twitter. You know where to find me. There I am.
Feeder FT Dub, says Sandy B the dude. So there you have it. I see you, Toblerone. Grant me permission to join the Edmonton bandwagon. Yeah, I really want to see them get out of this round. I'd love to see them in Tampa. I think I wanted to see that last year. Don't know if Tampa's going to do it. They gave away a couple games there, but we'll see. Talking hockey. Body Mechanic, a salute to Hexy Bastard. And just, we're doing nicknames now. Feeder to the Validator Gator. All right. We're just going to cut Briz off and call it a night. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to Buck Fiat, Dylan, Hexy Bastard, David Feeder. What a show. We had tons of people in this chat, like over 300 at one point. You guys are awesome. We will be back here Next week for sure should be regular time, Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern. Till then, everybody have a great weekend and take care, everybody.